Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Give it to me, Ralphie. Don't be shy, baby. Need the time to be shy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another crossover edition of the PHIX and AM and the PM right here, only on A2D Radio. We are brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Dellavecchio, Nick Juliano, Frank Vespe, Greg Milakovic. Not able to join us tonight, but we're going to carry on without them, boys, because we got a ton to talk about on the docket. Dumbest thing of the week later on the show. Mr. Clowney to Philly for the 500th time. We'll discuss it. I'll tell you why I'm disgusted by it. I'm telling you why the name puts me in a bad mood, and I'm sick of the name. Sick of the overrated name. We'll talk about that later on the show. Moves we want Howie to make. I mean, where do we start? You know, it's all going to tie into the best and worst moves of 2020, which is our main topic. But, you know, there's a few things out there, but I think we're going to talk about where we really got to wait until some guys start getting cut and some things like that start to happen to fill maybe some voids in running back depth or if not linebacker. So we'll talk about that. Our main topic is Eagles best and worst 2020 moves. We're all going to have a list of our top three. We want you guys to give us your top three best moves and worst moves of the 2020 Eagles all season so far. All right, so chime in there, comment there, let us know. Our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK services.com. Find them on the web, ambuckservices.com, and get 20% off. Telling the boys from A2D Radio sent you. Gutter guards, gutter cleanings, they have it all. ambuckservices.com. The Eagles did a good job retooling the roster this offseason. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. That's where we're live, and everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us as well. So chime in. Let us know. We're obviously talking all Eagles tonight before the dumbest thing of the week. So get it off your chest. I'm excited about this football team. And to the poll question, defensively, yes. Defensively, yes, I agree. They did a great job retooling this roster. Offensively, I don't know yet. The unknowns. Right? When we go over our best and worst moves, you're going to notice my best moves aren't the 2020 draft. If you're going in to the 2020 season relying on major production from your draft class, you weren't supposed to be in there anyway. You understand? You can't go in expecting Jalen Reagor to go have 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Right? You got to be realistic with things. So to me, yeah, they did a good job retooling. When you talk about Darius Slay, when you talk about Coleman, when you talk about Hargrave, right? You know, defensively, they went out, they took care of business, and they definitely retooled. And maybe even, and to me, got better defensively. So, you know, I 100% agree with the poll question in terms of defense. And to me, listen, that's where you win in this league. You got to get off the field. So as much as we all look for the splash names and the explosive offensive players all the time, what we did defensively, quietly, makes us a top 10 defense in football, in my opinion. And the ability to even be better than that. We'll see where it all shakes out. But when you go make them kind of three additions to your football team, no question you retooled great. Now, offensively, it's the question marks to Sean, Alshon, right? But then it's like, okay, now you're going to rely on 3 draft picks and Marquise Goodwin. You know, so offensively, I can't say that it was a great retooling. You know what I mean? When I just can't yet. You want to count Jalen Hurts into it, be my guest and get a clue right now. So, besides, who you putting in there? Because it's put so much pressure on our rookie to come in and be that part of that retooling. What else? Like, what else offensively did they go out and address this offseason outside of the draft? Corey Clement?
Yeah,
you understand? So defensively, Howie Roseman and his staff did a hell of a job. Heck of a job this offseason to upgrade this defense in a big-time way. Offensively, there's question marks in terms of the wide receiver core right now. If anybody's going in there, you know, rainbows and blowjobs for it, then be my guest. But to me, until it's proven on the field with some of these guys, I can't go in there blinded with like green Kool-Aid in my eyes and think, oh, we're going to, these guys are going to come in. I trust 11, but we're talking about retooling, right? That's the poll question. The Eagles did a good job retooling the roster this offseason, not what's already here, right? So I don't want to address things that are already here that I believe in. We're talking about strictly what's came in the door. And what's came in defensively definitely outweighs offensively. So I'll give them, they did a good job retooling. Definitely. So I'll agree with the poll question. Family, let us know. Boys, whoever obviously wants to go next on it, and then we'll be reading off all your questions, comments, and excitement. I know Tristan's already talking about schedule tomorrow.
Absolutely. 8 p.m., baby.
Know it.
I agree with the poll question, Tommy. I'm on the same boat as you are. If you look at the defensive side of the ball, Howie did what he had to do on the defensive side of the ball. He brought in Hargrave, a guy that can, free up Fletcher Cox up in the middle a little bit, give him more breathing room. You also went out and traded for Darius Slay, only giving up a 3rd and 5th, so you have a corner that can actually play, which is nice. And then towards the tail end of free agency, going into the draft, you also signed Robey-Coleman to a 1-year deal, which was by far one of the best nickel corners in the game, or those slot corners in the game. Defense side of the ball, you did good, but like Tommy said, the offensive side of the ball is not great, fellas. Right? There's still some holes. I mean, I still have trust in Carson Wentz at number 11 to do his thing, to get the job done. But like Tommy said, you brought in Corey Clement, you drafted Hurts at 53. You're relying on Jalen Reagor to step in day one as a rookie to make an impact, and we saw that last year with JJ. Week 2 and week 3 when Deshaun and Alshon went down, we all saw that how that happened. But I agree to the poll. Defensive side of the ball did phenomenal. Offensive side of the ball, not so much.
Yeah, and there's question marks, and I think
absolutely
there isn't. Is just drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much in terms of retooling. Right? In terms of retooling. I mean, what are you putting your faith in? Guys, I'm going to say it again. 3 draft picks at the wide receiver position and Marquise Goodwin offensively, this big retooling job. Yes. Is there speed on the field? Absolutely. But until we see it, we can't put all the faith in it.
Yeah. It looks great on paper, but until you step on the field, it might not look so hot.
Yeah, it all changes if Deshaun plays like 15 games and Alshon plays, let's say, 10. Yeah, the whole conversation changes because there's vets that are proven when they're on the field. Yeah. So that conversation changes, but that's not a retool because they were already here.
For me, it's really difficult because, Tom, to your point, and Ralph, for you as well, defensively, I think they did a tremendous job. We were talking, on Wednesdays and on, a lot of the other shows, especially right after the season got done, and we were looking at the projected turnover on defense about, obviously Malcolm Jenkins moving on and a handful of guys moving on, and also some of the key guys getting older too, that, I was well documented in saying, I don't know how reliable this defense is going to be going forward, at least heading into next year. I was worried about guys like friggin' Edwards and, Jalen Mills and Sidney Jones, guys that are going to have to, go and make a big step forward, but they were able to go out and get obviously Hargrave and Slay, and that's obviously, we're going to talk a lot about that, I would imagine in the best moves made this offseason when we get to the list. But offensively, the only thing I can confidently say is they did a good job of telling us what they're trying to do. I can't confidently say they did a good job. I can say they did a good job showing us what their plan is, because a couple weeks ago, we didn't really know what their plan was. We knew, okay, well, they weren't valuing the free agency market at all on the offensive side of the ball. We thought, okay, maybe they believe Sanders is the guy. Now we clearly think he is, unless, they go up and they get somebody, like a Devontae Freeman over the next handful of weeks to months, which obviously there's a chance of it, but I don't think it's there's a huge chance of it. But as I'll say a lot tonight and going forward, probably until, the first game of the season, whenever that truly is, on the offensive side of the ball, my fear is that we're going to look back on this offseason and talk about missed opportunity to get better immediately. Try and get transcendent players, which, it goes right into my list later, so I'll save it for there. But we had opportunities to get standout stars who are either already in the league or are projected to be stars quicker and to a higher degree than the guys that we brought in. I like Jalen Reagor, but I've been well documented in saying I don't believe he can be a transcendent star. I think he can be a good player, a very good player. especially in this offense for what we're trying to do. But we had opportunities on the offensive side of the ball to go out and get game changers for this quarterback and for this football team, and we didn't. And I completely understand it because we're trying to get younger. We're trying to go with youth and obviously volume of picks, but we obviously know how that pans out with Howie Roseman in the draft. We know how that pans out when he goes out and makes trades and he goes into free agency and he makes moves. There's a better track record with the latter as opposed to obviously the draft. So I'm very nervous on the offensive side of the ball, but what they were able to do on defense, obviously except for the linebacking core, which I don't even think they understand or even realize that's still a position in football, I'm very, very happy with what they did. So to the poll, I will agree based so heartedly on the defensive side of the ball.
Let me make this clear to people out there. I believe that this offense is going to score points. Mm-hmm. I believe in 11. So I don't really give a rat's ass who you're putting out there with them. You know, do I think we got better at that position? Absolutely. Right? I just don't know. We don't know because we're talking about puppies coming in. But we're not sure yet. But we know 11. We know 11, and we know what 11 does with speed. So, but it's the unknown. We know defensively the players that we brought in are ball players. We already know that. It's proven in the NFL. So we're talking about retooling. You know, did the Eagles do a good job of retooling the roster this offseason? So we're talking about both sides, offense and defense. You know what I mean? We're not talking about guys that are still here or can Carson carry this offense with these guys. I think we all believe that. So that's not up for debate on this show, at least tonight. You know what I mean? Whether or not this offense can be explosive. I completely believe they can be explosive. We're just talking about retooling to do a good job. Offensively, there's too many unknowns because you're talking about picks, and then not only at the regular, you're talking about late-round picks. You're talking about Marquise Goodwin, who's never on the football field. So to say that these guys are home run hits, to me, is a little delusional at this point. Now, let's talk about it. Reagor can be an impact player day one, right? He can be. Yeah. But until we see it, I'm not going to say that they did a great job retooling offensively. They did a great job retooling in the direction they want to go. But that script's still unwritten. That's the only argument. It's just unwritten right now. Defensively, Darius Slay's written. Robey-Coleman, best slot corner in football, written. Right? Yeah. Hargraves. I'm not talking. He's not.
One of the best nose tackles in the league.
Right?
He's up there.
A stuffer. So
yeah.
Now, boys, down below. The Eagles did a good job on the roster this offseason. Agree or disagree?
All right. So for the defense, I agree. I mean, the main concern right now is just the lack of linebackers.
Yeah.
But offensively, there's still plenty of question marks. As you said, you have these young guys coming in. You have Reagor, you have Hightower, you have Quez, and you have a lot of practice squad guys like Greg Ward. Are they ready to contribute when the likes of Alshon, Deshaun, and Marquise, if they're not healthy enough to play anymore? And what about JJ? How is he going to factor into the mix? So I'm very excited to see what this offense is going to bring, but there's just a lot of question marks with this receiving core. And is our playbook going to be something completely brand new, or is it going to be something cookie cutter, taking a page out of Kansas City's playbook? So I'm going to be very intrigued with this offense, but right now I agree to the defense. Right now I'm on the fence with offense.
No, fair. I mean, I think everybody is retooling wise. Jules?
I would agree. I mean, talking about the defensive side of the ball, I mean, anytime you add Slay and Hargraves, I mean, you're going to be in a lot better position than you were last year. And also Robey-Coleman. But that's kind of as far as I go. I mean, we went into this offseason knowing that we needed to address the linebacking issue, and we really didn't do that this past offseason. We drafted a guy in the third round who's not going to make an impact day one. He's going to be a project, but we'll wait to see about that. And I also would have liked for them to come out with another corner that's proven that can play on the outside, because right now we have a bunch of guys that play in the slot, and really only one proven guy that we know in Slay to play on the outside. All right, I mean, we talk about Sidney, Razul if he's still here, and I mean there are the only other two that could play on the outside. All the other guys are kind of primary slot corners. As far as Hargrave, I mean, that was a great signing. Did we really need another defensive tackle? Probably not, but I mean, it's a great sign no matter what. And flipping over to the offense, like you guys said, just naming the list of receivers, only Alshon and JJ, aside from those two, everybody else has the same skill set. Speed. So you got a bunch of guys that have this similar skill set, and you don't really know what you're going to get out of the guys you just brought in, including Marquise Goodwin, who is he going to stay in the field or not? So, and also the running back position, we didn't really address that kind of to spell Miles Sanders. You do need two backs in this league. So for them not drafting a running back in this draft, you're probably going to see them bring somebody in, maybe that gets cut in training camp or somebody's out there right now like a Devontae Freeman. But as far as that, I would agree with the poll. They did get better, but there are still question marks that needed to be addressed that I would like them to address.
Listen, there absolutely is. And, I get it, speed. And it's like, we talked about the cornerback position last year, right? There were so many guys that we assumed, because there were so many, that it was going to be that position got better last season. It didn't. So just because you add a bunch doesn't, and it's essentially deep, doesn't make it better. That time will tell. But outside of Jalen Reagor, I'm not putting my eggs in any of the basket of the other pick. Marquise Goodwin, I'm not. I'll put stock in Jalen Reagor as a first-round pick to have an impact, right? But outside of that, I'm not. The only other guy that I'm going to put stock in to have an impact is two other guys. In terms of like the unknowns, I expect Greg Ward to have a role in this football team. Okay, because all he did was catch footballs, and I expect JJ to get better. I mean, there's only room to go up, but I expect him to get better. So I have to. When I use a second-round pick on a guy, I got to expect him to get better. I have to. I'm praying on it because what you said, there's the different change of pace guy. If Alshon's not here or not on the field, right? I mean, there's your little bit of a change of pace guy offensively. So,
and that's what they want us to believe, right? That they bringing in all these speed guys. Oh, look, we addressed it. Yeah, you addressed it, but can they play? And
half of those speed guys might not even make the roster. So at the end, when you're cutting it down to 53, Jules, how many of those speed guys are making the roster? Two or three of them?
Maybe,
yeah.
Listen, outside of Hightower and Reagor, I mean, Greg Ward's beating out whoever.
Watkins. Yeah, Greg Ward's got to be Watkins.
And he's probably beating out Marquise Goodwin if it came down to it. If it really came down to it, he probably would beat him out because of the injury history. So, he's coming in wanting the number and all this. I mean, stay on the field.
Listen, Greg Wood made a lot of plays for us down the stretch when we needed him.
Exactly. I'm not going to pass on a guy that I've seen make plays. Now, am I considering him a number one option?
No, of course not.
But as my fourth receiver, at times maybe a third if he had to be, I'm okay.
Yeah, Greg Ward could be my fourth or fifth wide receiver.
Yeah, I'll be fine with Ward. Yeah,
I'm fine with Greg Ward being my fourth or fifth.
Probably kick returner as well.
That's fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, when they're making a 53-man roster and we're sitting here talking about speed guys, how many speed guys are making the team though? Out of that whole entire wide receiver group, might be maybe one or two, right?
Like Tom talked about, the only lock at a speed guys, well, there's two. It's obviously Deshaun and it's Reagor. Speed guys.
Yeah.
Marquise Goodwin. I still get a kick out of when people were saying, "Oh, Goodwin's a lock." Number one, no, because
I'm not fully guaranteed with Goodwin.
The only track record he had in the NFL was one season, and he's had like 100 catches in 7 years. Two, correct me if I'm wrong, people at home, but I think he's only had like 2 or 3 touchdowns max per season. And then on top of that, you gave up a 6th-round. You didn't even give up a 6th-round pick. You swapped 6th-round picks. So it's not even like you gave up all of these assets for him.
Yeah,
right. And his contract is like $1 million. So you're not breaking the bank for Goodwin.
No. Yeah, you're not invested in it to where he has to make the roster. That's the whole point. So he's not guaranteed to make this roster. Like JJ, Deshaun, Jalen, Greg Ward. To me, they're your 4 guaranteed at the wide receiver position.
Absolutely.
Outside of Alshon, money wise, because he's going to be back. So they're your 4 guarantees. Now it's up to Hightower, Watkins, and Goodwin to win them other spots.
Yeah, like Goodwin's in here if Hightower just flat out stinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, or doesn't.
Agreed. If one of them is terrible, then and he's in here. Charles Cunningham, not a fan of Goodwin. Nah, I mean, he's a one-trick pony. I mean, the Niners need receivers, and they're willing to just give up a guy to here take him off our hands. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at that. Raymond Rivera, hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, Raymond? You know, hey, if Goodwin balls out, that's great. I just want receivers that are given a spot to go to work during the season. I mean, listen, there's definitely talent at the wide receiver position, and we know the talent at the quarterback position. You know, I said it right here. Carson Wentz plays a full 16 games. He's the NFL MVP this coming season, and I'll stand by them remarks because I think the weapons around them, you know, can make this offense absolutely explosive. And I got a defense now that can take the football away a little bit more, and to me, it's tougher. To me, it's tougher, and that's the big thing. I think they're better, and I think turnover-wise, they're going to be way better, and that's the big thing. We don't take balls away, right? In terms of interceptions, I got to go through and really like how many. Like somebody told me, freaking what's his face had Darby had 2 picks, and I'm like, when did he have?
Yeah,
Because
you know what's funny?
He had 2 picks his whole career here.
We took the ball away from. We obviously kept the ball. We didn't turn the ball over a lot, and we took the ball away from our opponents 1 year out of the last 6, and it was 2017. All the other years, it's the differential between the two is not good.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's very telling. Like, oh, okay, you're telling me that the 1 year that we actually take the ball away and we don't make mistakes, we end up winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, it kind of helps on who was the offensive coordinator too. A lot of people attribute that to Frank Reich, who had very good time of possession. But
I was waiting for a Frank Reich reference.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's going to bring up the Frank Reich reference. Why not me?
Let's see. Also,
Damn right, Frank.
We had a question earlier about Jefferson. Oh, first we have Bill. Bill says disagree to the poll because of all of the free agents that Howie passed on with the offense, missed on some good weapons for Wentz. Not sure about the pups or Deshaun lasting a season, and also no big running back. Yeah, I agree, Bill.
I mean, fair, but I don't disagree with the poll because then that's unfair. Because now it's like, well, Darius Slay, Robey-Coleman, and Hargrave aren't good football players that you brought in. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you got to look at it both ways. You're not gonna bring in everybody.
Yeah,
you know, but that's the way they went about it was.
But like you said, Tommy, you brought on the defensive side of the ball. You brought in guys that are known guys that have made their stamp in the NFL already. To compare to the offensive side of the ball, where not a lot of guys have made their stamp yet. So that's why the defensive side of the ball is looking very, very well, very good. The offensive side of the ball ain't looking too hot right now.
No, and it's not even like not looking too hot, Ralph, because I think it's still going to be explosive. You know what I mean? But in terms of the retooling, it just looks like they did a better job.
Better job on the defensive side. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, you know, Brian chimes in here. They're projecting Reagor to be a top fantasy rookie. I forgot where I read that today. But, no, I mean, listen, I said it, like speed kills. So when you have something that translates to the next level, I expect it to translate right away. So, I mean, I expect to see that. I expect to see explosive plays and all that stuff. But if I can't, it's not fair on the kid for me to say, yeah, I'm expecting 1,000 yards. I'm expecting 65-plus catches. I'm expecting 10 touches. You know what I mean? So
that sounds like a stat line brought up by Bill Middlebrook about JJ.
Sounds like it. Now you got him going, Frank.
Got a lot of love, Bill. Never forget.
Jeremy says, hey, guys, sorry I tuned in a little late. Not sure if you've already been over this at all, but how do you feel about Howie and the team picking Reagor over Jefferson? A lot of scouts and other GMs think he reached his ceiling and won't be able to catch at a high rate at the next level. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, I mean, Justin Jefferson's the pick there. You know, production. I don't think he reached his ceiling. I don't want to say Jalen Reagor reached his ceiling. I think that's unfair to say right now. You know, time will tell.
It's still too early to tell. We'll go back to that in like 3 years for me.
Alberto says, well, running game be explosive. How much of Clement will we see? I don't think we see Clement at all. I think he's just going to be a camp guy that you're bringing in to be familiar with the offense, especially with all, you know, maybe a limited off season, a bunch of new guys coming in to give obviously competition to the running backs that a lot of people just have projected to make the team. And those are the 2 undrafted guys. And I understand undrafted free agents at running back, you know, they have a good history here, given obviously Boston Scott and Corey Clement, but I mean, we can't expect freaking Killins and And who's the other kid, Ralphie? I blanked on his name. The power runner.
Michael
Warren.
Michael Warren,
I
yeah.
can't bank on these two coming in and being superstars or NFL caliber running backs right away. Like maybe eventually, sure. But, you're going into next season right now with a running back core. If you take Clement out of it, of Sanders, Scott, Holyfield, and then the two kids. So I think them bringing in Clement, is a guy, okay, he's familiar with the offense. He's done it in this league before. Again, I'll ask you guys this in the fam at home. Is it fair to compare the Clement signing with the Goodwin trade? Insurance, guys who have been in the league, but also you can cut them in 2 seconds because you didn't give up anything up for.
Right.
Yeah, I mean both names to me are just relevant without being disrespectful about it. They're just flat out irrelevant to this roster and what they're trying to do. No disrespect to Boston Scott, I like him, but if I'm going into the year with him as my second back, I'm a little bit concerned. If I was going into the year with him as my third back, I'm feeling a little bit better about the situation. All right, I seen another comment up here, and listen, this is the misconception. Nobody will ever sit here and tell you that Miles Sanders can't be the every down back. What I'm going to try to tell you is that in November and December, I need fresh running backs. So if I'm giving him a workload early on, he is not as fresh come November and December. The legs get tired. You need 2 or 3 backs in this league.
Yeah.
You need to give guys blows, right?
Times have changed, Tommy. Times have changed. It's not the one back anymore where you can just feed him 30 times a game, right, and he carries you. Times have changed now, man. And you saw it. I mean, the Patriots have been known for running three running backs every single game for the last how many years now?
And the fullback. Don't forget about Devlin.
Yeah, fullback. Yeah.
And they're still running Devlin out there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the times have changed with the NFL to where now you see teams with 2 to 3 running backs, and when November and December and January comes, their number one back is fresh because he's not carrying the rock 30 times a game.
And Jules, if I got to see a different change of pace, from the running back position throughout the game, defensively, that can change up. That can change an angle. That can change so many things. Where now I take a bad angle and a guy goes to the house. You saw Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders. You saw Howard pound. You bring Miles in, and next thing you know, he takes one to the house. And you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? The defense thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, just real quick on that, defensive players need to know, is this guy's going to try and make me miss, or is he going to try and run through me? There's different styles of backs.
Mm-hmm. Dean Jones says, do you guys think beast mode will help? Anybody in on beast mode coming here?
Nah, I'm good.
I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll pass. Yep.
He's more like feast mode now, not beast mode.
Yeah.
Bill has a question. He says, question for you guys. When have you seen us sitting with a roster like this, still 5th, I believe, with the most cap space? That's a plus. Have room to change. Let's go. Was there a question in there, Bill? Or is that like a rhetorical question?
No, I mean.
Is this a question for you guys?
Yeah.
He's asking if we've ever seen a roster built that has been set up like this, but you still have cap space to move around. I think we still have 20-something million left.
Yeah, we still have plenty of cap space.
No, I think the flexibility is so important.
Oh yeah.
Because I already think this roster right now is the best roster in the NFC East. So right this second, that's who I have winning the NFC East. So it can only go up from here too, with a few additions.
Yeah.
When we talk about that in a few as well. Marquis says Sanders hurt his ankle bad from being overworked. Also, he sees a lot of receptions backs like that typically don't have Henry Elliott run usage. Facts.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'd rather get him 15 good touches a game than try to get him 25. I mean, them extra 10, they wear you out through a year. 10. It adds up, man. It adds up.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Gavin saying he wishes we kept Howard. Yeah, I mean, Howard would be perfect in this offense. We saw it. So
yeah.
Some people begged for him back. Some people really wanted him back, and some people didn't want to listen to it. It wasn't a lot of money. At the end of the day, you could have kept him here, but they decided to go in this direction. Obviously Boston Scott did something for Howie Roseman, and this is what he thinks he can go into the season as a 1-2. I mean, I think it's.
I don't like it, Tommy. I don't like
it one bit.
I think it's comical. I think it's flat out comical.
It's concerning.
Because if Miles goes down, your backfield's atrocious.
Right.
Atrocious, horrendous.
Atrocious.
With Boston Scott leading the way.
And Andre Killings, I like Andre. You're talking about undrafted guys now?
Yeah.
Michael Warren.
Boston Scott, and if Corey does make the team, which I think he does, then if Miles does go down, you're stuck with Boston Scott and Corey Clement carrying a rocket till Miles
Ralphie, don't forget about Elijah Holyfield, though, Ralph.
Oh, yeah, Elijah Holyfield. I forgot about him.
We're going to chime in here that we'd be fine with Elijah. So I'm waiting for that one.
Come on this. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Doug has yet to use a workhorse back. So I think if Clement makes a team, he'll get a tick on special teams and sub packages. Just my opinion. I would love to have Sanders to get 15, 18 touches, though. That's not overworking him. Yeah, I agree there. So then it's like, Boston Scott's getting, I don't know.
Well, that's what Miles was almost getting last year, 15 to 18, when he took over the lead role when Jordan Howard went out. So, I mean, that's the sweet spot right there, 15 to 18. I'm fine with that.
I mean, Boston Scott runs the football better than Corey Clement does.
Yeah.
Which, I don't think it's saying much. Corey did a better job out of the backfield, in his success in 2017 than he did running the football.
Yeah.
I get – it's just the size of Boston that worries you because then if Miles goes down and he's now your starter, I don't want to make size as an issue because it's not, He showed he can play a little bit in the chances he had, and he showed
But if Miles does go down, you're not giving him 18 carries a game, though, Tommy. You know what I mean?
That's where you run into a little bit of issue on why he'd be better suited if he was your third.
Let's see. TTP asking what the poll was, whether or not we think the Eagles did a good job retooling the roster so far this offseason. Let's see. We got a lot of these comments. Don't forget, Clement was a big reason we have a ring. Yeah, we're not taking anything away from him, but that was 3 years ago, guys. That was 3 years ago. Come on now. Jai was also a big reason, and LeGarrette Blount was a big reason. We bringing those three back?
Yep.
Again, I like Corey Clement. I Glassboro's own. I completely understand the love. I get what he did in 2017. But what has he done since then? Unfortunately, it's 3 years ago. You know what I mean? The guy couldn't stay healthy. The guy he didn't get any better when he was healthy. And when we tried to put him on special teams, he was a liability on special teams. So I can only judge what I see. Sure, in 2017, in that game in February, which we all know is the Super Bowl, he had a pretty good game, very good game. We're never going to take that away from him. It's awesome that an undrafted rookie is going to be able to do that, or even play in a Super Bowl. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was 3. So you're telling me, ladies and gentlemen, Devontae Freeman's out there. If you had to choose between going out and paying for Devontae Freeman or just staying with Corey Clement because he helped us win a Super Bowl, or picking Corey Clement, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other options to get better.
Yeah.
That's all. If he's on this roster, okay, I'll take him as a 4th running back. I like him, but I just think that people get too caught up in what they did, a handful of years ago.
It's not even about like
beautiful lesions.
Yeah, it's not even about if you like the player or not. What it comes down to is look at the injuries.
Yeah. Like when we signed Corey Clement back, I wasn't getting my pom-poms out for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting my pom-poms and my cheerleading skirt out for it and cheering. No way.
It was a meh.
Yeah. It was like, okay, he knows the playbook.
Yeah.
There's probably gonna be a shortened off season.
He might be there in case if there is some issue regarding if this shutdown keeps continuing. So at least have somebody around to know the playbook. Just in case.
Absolutely.
I mean, and nobody else was knocking down on Corey Clement's door.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like all 31 other teams were knocking on the door. I totally agree with that, Jules. So it's like, how excited were you? Like, I want to know, family, are you excited that Corey Clement's back on the football team? like, does it move the needle for you that Corey Clement
there's some out there I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, I mean, my reaction was, okay, sounds good. He doesn't have to move his house. Like, that's cool. Like, I was happy for him. Like, oh, he doesn't have to move. That's fun. But, it didn't do anything for me for the football team. Mason Rye 16 says, what free agent do you think they will sign here? Do we really think they will sign here? I mean, I still think they're going to sign a running back.
Yeah, I'm still thinking running back as well. If not, probably another depth linebacker.
Might go quarterback.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Right on the coaching stick.
Can't get enough quarterbacks, you know?
You think Deuce Staley will come out of retirement?
Yeah. Yep. Well,
My
there
knee-
you go. There's your number 2. Deuce will come out of retirement.
Let's
The
see.
number 2 running back.
Marquez says, I would take Westbrook right now over Clement. No disrespect.
Yeah.
Brian says, what happened to the McCoy rumors of coming back? Hopefully they disintegrated because I don't want them.
Yeah,
I don't want him either.
I'm over that hill. I'm done.
Is anyone in this panel excited about bringing him back?
No.
Or take him.
Say that again?
Excited or take him?
Excited.
Excited, no.
But you would take him.
Yeah, I mean, is this the running back factory now? Did I miss that? You know, yes. I mean, there's plenty of names we take. You can start fucking listing them off. Bilal Powell. I mean, Christ, I would take him. Right? I mean, you know, everybody besides Carlos Hyde, I would take. Anybody that hasn't been to 1,000 places,
Yeah.
I would take it this point.
1,000 places, was the number 1 back in every place and got beat out every time. Yep. I'll pass on him.
Adam Rush, yes, I think the underrated move was Hargrave. I think we all agree on that. That and Robey-Coleman, a big part of the underrated move. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like, there's not this depth chart at the running back position is not deep. It's deep if you're just, if you just believe in anybody that's ever wore Eagles green. You know what I mean? And before we put trust in it that they're going to be great, then sure. But if not, if you're an NFL guy and you look around the league and you compare running back rooms, I'm a little concerned. All right, we don't have a good track record of staying healthy. All right, so I can't go in, with a position like you owe it to your team for the quarterback, right? You don't owe it to your team for a backup running back. I'm confused by that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You owe it to your team to draft Jalen Hurts, but you didn't owe it to your team to draft J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yep.
The difference.
Now, are you guys interested in and obviously, the Jaguars pulled back and they said, oh, we're going to stick with him. But I think that's propaganda. That's them saying, in certain words, oh, we'll take him, but we'll give you him, but we're not just going to give him away. What's the most you would give for a guy like Leonard Fournette? Because I think a guy like Leonard Fournette, while I don't like him, I think what he brings to the offense is the perfect blend with Miles Sanders.
Yeah, but if Leonard Fournette, if somehow we do get Leonard Fournette, is he your number 1 running back? Does he go into the season as your number 1?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because then you go right back into the.
I think he still wants to start, bro. I don't think he's going to be taking a number 2 option. So if you trade for Leonard Fournette, he becomes your number 1.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree because at the end of the day, I don't think that matters because it'd be one thing if Miles was getting 90% of the snaps at running back. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be more 50-50.
Yeah, it's split, so it's not like it's the 1A 1B. But guess what, baby? If you're selfish, I don't do the deal. Pretty selfish cat. Can't stay on the field. Another overrated guy to me. Clowney, we're going to talk about a little bit. Another overrated guy to me. But he can't stay on the damn field. But, I like Leonard Fournette. When he's on the field, I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's good on the field.
Would I take him for the right price? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But will you come in and you're willing to have a role and you're willing to try to win and you can buy into that, then I'm all for it. Because I'm all good with taking care of Miles and keeping both workloads a little shortened early on. Where now, again, we talk about November, December, January, I can sort of ramp up and let's go and have fresh legs. So, yes, over what I have in my backfield, I'd be a jackass not to say yes to Leonard Fournette. Now, will he buy into the other stuff?
Yep, true. Let's see here. Somebody said, would y'all be good with Clowney and then possibly sign Everson Griffin? I think we're all big fans of Griffin here.
Yeah, I'll be fine with Griffin.
Yeah, I'll be fine with Griffin.
Griffin over Clowney right now.
Definitely not both. Definitely can't sign both.
Yeah, definitely won't be able to get both. Griffin over Clowney right now. Again, in a role I think perfectly suited for. Listen, I'm not going to get into who's better, Miles or Leonard. I mean, that's disrespect. Honestly, I love Miles Sanders. It's disrespect to Leonard Fournette to say that Miles Sanders is better right now. It's disrespectful. I know the guy gets injured. I know he gets banged up. Look at production. It's been there over a period of time in the NFL. It's not a one-trick pony. Not that Miles is. I'm just saying we're going to go off 1 year and say a guy's better than Leonard Fournette. I think that's unfair. All right? I think it's a little unfair.
I agree.
And now I think we're really drinking this fucking Kool-Aid here, and we don't feel anything outside of the city of Philadelphia. All right? I love Miles Sanders. He's not right this second better than Leonard Fournette. I don't even like Leonard Fournette.
Tommy, where do you go to school?
Who goes to school? Penn State?
Fournette.
Oh, he's a Florida guy. No, LSU.
LSU, come on.
LSU. I just drew a blank for a second.
So he's from the SEC.
He's the SEC guy. And I love Miles. And Miles, to me, has all the potential in the world to be a great back.
Yep.
If he's not already right there. All right? But don't say that, he's better right now than Leonard Fournette. If Leonard Fournette's healthy.
You can't say it the one season. You can't say it.
Come on, that's disrespectful to guys put it in for a little.
You saw flashes. You can say you saw flashes.
Put it in for 4 years on a terrible Jacksonville team.
I think so.
Except for that 1 year.
Listen, it's hard. It's hard for players to want to play for Jacksonville. It's hard for players down there to want to play all 16 games. I mean, they're so dysfunctional down there. Everybody wants out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
He's better in this offense. How's that factual? You haven't seen power backs running this offense? I don't think it's fair. They're different style running backs too. So it's also not fair to really compare them. But the track record of
Fournette will run you over.
Yeah.
He don't care. He'll run you over.
He waves the contact on.
Absolutely.
They would be the perfect complement to each other. That's what people were getting. People were, in the chat, they're saying, "Oh, this guy's better. This guy's better." If they're on the same team, that's what matters because they do two completely different things, and they do it and have the ability to do it at a high level. That's what matters. That's where the value is. It's not about Ralphie, and I understand what you're saying, but it's not about who's one and who's two. It matters that there's one guy here and one guy here. That's what matters.
I mean, I would take Leonard Fournette any day of the week right now.
They know their roles. And
with the running backs we have on the team, absolutely, I'll take Leonard Fournette.
Dank, I agree. I understand what you're saying, and can I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with any of that. I'm just saying until there's a couple years put in, I don't think it's fair to say a guy's better. That's all. Does he have the potential to be better? Fair, right? But to be better right now, that's not fair. And granted, I get it, different skill sets, but one guy who has a track record with that skill set too.
Marquez says, "Can we just get Vontaze Burfict? The quarterback in this division needs some good quarterback, right?"
I would love that. I love that leadership. I love trying to take heads off. So everybody's played with Mr. Burfict, loves him. So you can take that for what it is.
Nathan says, "How about this? Do y'all still believe Alshon will have a big impact on this team, or do you think this is a smokescreen?" So obviously that's going into the report that they're trying to bring him back and have a big role in the offense to kind of complement all the speed little guys. You're going to have somebody in Alshon who complements that.
No, I don't think it's a smokescreen at all. I think the money doesn't allow you to smokescreen it.
Right.
So
that $26 million he's sitting on right now. There ain't no smoke, baby.
Contribute. Yeah.
There ain't no smoke. And we said it from the jump street too, right? Howie ain't letting that dead money sit there.
Right.
No way. He's gonna take the bullet this year and he's gonna move on from Alshon next year when his contract's up. Howie ain't taking no $16 million dead cap if he was to be cut or to be traded. There's no way.
Only way he's eating that if Alshon's leg got cut off.
Absolutely.
He's not eating that freaking money. Are you kidding?
Nah, no shot.
Yeah, I was just going to freaking sprinkle the crumbs, right? I'm like, hey, big year. Get you on the wagon with us. Because at the end of the day, Howie's in the same boat we're in.
Yeah.
He don't know what the hell he's got.
No.
He just played roulette and he hopes he hit. That's what just happened in the 2020 NFL draft.
And guess what? If he don't hit, bye-bye. Because I can't take it no more.
Marquez's statement is absolutely horrifying. Alshon is JJ's insurance. He's insurance for.
I would double dip if they both are.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here you go, Ralphie. I've been waiting for this all week because the second I started hearing these rumors,
Hey, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I can't.
I thought about the look on your face when that breaking news sounded.
What?
Bringing Jason Peters back. I can't do it.
Here we go.
Because I put all the stock on Andre Dillard. I'm not doing it, Tommy.
Why is that?
I'm not doing it.
Why does it have to be all this stock in one or the other?
Because he's my future left tackle.
Oh, ain't nothing given. Hold on. There ain't nothing given, period. Right? So now, Mr. You don't trust Howie Roseman.
So you're going to bring back. You're going to bring back. Okay.
Now,
you're bringing back a 38-year-old Jason Peters. Okay.
Why not?
So you had no. So what you're saying is you had no trust in Andre Dillard.
I'm not saying I have no trust in Andre Dillard. I'm saying.
So then why do you want to bring Jason Peters back? Why do you want to bring Jason Peters back?
Okay. Insurance policies, right? Is that not important?
Oh my God! So Jason Peters is going to be a backup. Is Jason Peters going to be a backup if he comes here, or is he starting in your eyes?
Is he starting in my eyes?
If you bring Jason Peters
open
back,
competition, babe. You want the job, Andre? Go win it.
Oh my God! That should be his job. It should be his job.
It's going to be whose job?
Should be Andre Dillard's job.
Nothing's given. Nothing's given in this league. We're talking about.
You don't move up. You don't move up spots to take a left tackle and then have him rot on the bench, Tommy.
Hold on, Mister. I owe it to my team. I owe it to my city. You owe it to your city to make sure the freaking blind side of your quarterback is protected. And if that costs an extra $10 million,
Tommy, when he played, he was okay. He was good.
When who played?
Andre Dillard. When he played those 3 games, he was good. Oh, don't come on, Tommy.
Okay.
He was good. He wasn't okay, dude. He was good. He was doing good, dude. And then Jason Peters came back.
He played pretty good, too.
Ah, come on.
Played pretty good. I'm just saying.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Okay, so hold on.
But it's time to move on, dude. It's time to move on.
Why? It's time to move on.
Because I need to know what I have in Andre Dillard.
Ralphie, it's time to move on if a guy's not productive anymore. Aaron Sproles, time to move on. As long as the guy's still productive and
Jason Peters, a guy who can't do more than 5 snaps in a row without taking himself off the field.
Hold on.
Is productive still?
Hold on, you got all the answers.
You sound delusional.
Hold on, Mr. All the Answers. Who's playing right tackle if Lane Johnson goes down? I'll wait.
Oh, my God.
Jordan fucking Mailata, Ralph. So you better wake the hell up on how important the offensive line is.
Because
you better wake up on how many injuries this offensive line went.
Lane Johnson went down. Lane Johnson went down, and Andre Dillard looked horrendous at right tackle.
Okay, but what would you rather have go there? Would you rather have Jason go there and play? Would you rather have that insurance policy, Ralph? If your guard goes down, Salmao goes down. Hold on. Again, if Salmao goes down, would you rather have Jason Peters step in?
Bro, if Jason Peters...
Answer the questions.
What?
I'm putting questions to you, and you're broing me and not coming back with the answer. Who would you rather have is the question. There's no difference. There's no in between. The name bothers you.
It hates me to say it, but I'll take Peters.
That's a disgrace.
I'll take Peters.
Selfish. You're selfish. Everything this guy's giving this city. You're selfish.
I ain't selfish. It's time to move on. No. He's 38 years old, Tommy.
Well,
38 years old.
When Brady was 38, was it time to move on? Probably. They still kept winning.
Dude, he was winning.
He still play.
Bro, come on. That you can't. Jason Peters. Now you're bringing Tom Brady up and Jason Peters on the same sentence.
I will absolutely compare Jason Peters. I will absolutely compare Jason Peters' success to a guy like Tom Brady. Playing this late in his career.
That's hilarious. That's laughable.
Then let me tell you why.
Oh my
God. Playing this late in your career at a high level, at a position that's so important as a tackle.
Dude, you traded up.
You not let me finish. Look at you not let me finish. I'm in the middle of explaining to you why
Go ahead, finish.
And you want to cut it off. All right. Now you're pulling a Zach on me. All right. Right? Am I talking to Chucks, Zach, or Ralphie? Who the hell am I talking to?
Go ahead. Finish. Time is yours.
You know what I'm at. Now you did this. Look what you did to fit your agenda. My point is to play this late in your career at a high level, that old, it's not easy to do, especially the position as a quarterback position or a left tackle, which are probably 2 of your most important offensive positions where you build your teams around. All I'm saying is, listen, I want to trust Andre Dillard. I don't trust the guy who drafted him, but I want to trust Andre Dillard. At the end of the day, I owe to my football team that Jordan fucking Mailata ain't backing up nobody. You understand this?
He shouldn't. Yeah.
I owe to my when your whole locker room says I want Jason Peters back, I bring Jason Peters back. It's bigger than just on the field, right? It's bigger than all that. You've seen it. I want leaders. I want a guy that can groom this kid for another year, because obviously year one wasn't enough because somebody had a little period issue and their tampon and Andre Dillard. So obviously year one didn't get enough toughness. So give me toughness for year two. You're so tough, Andre. You're the right guy. Go beat him the hell out then. Go beat him out. Ain't shit
So,
giving.
hold on. So if you bring Jason Peters back, is he starting at left tackle?
Go win the job, one.
Oh my! You know, answer the question.
I did. Go win the job.
Oh my God!
Who's better?
I can't
Who's
believe
better?
it. Obviously, Jason Peters, because Dillon hasn't been given opportunity yet.
Well, then look at your 2020 starting left tackle.
Oh my God, that's atrocious. 38-year-old Jason Peters
Can't
even stay in the game. Can't even stay in the game more than 5 snaps in a row, Tommy.
No, and then I got Andre Dillard to come in and play.
That's your blind side. You're so up about blind sides about Carson Wentz. Dude can't even stay in the game for more than 5 snaps.
Would you rather have 2 of them and trust in 2 of them? Ralphie, answer this.
How can you trust Andre Dillard if he's sitting the bench?
You want to answer the last question right here? Would you?
Hold on. How can you trust Andre Dillard? Like you just said, I can trust 2 of them. How can you trust Andre Dillard if he's sitting the bench though? How does that equal out?
Because he's not playing.
There you go. So there's no trust.
Okay.
If you bring in Jason Peters, that's showing your guy, hey, sorry, I don't have trust in you. I just don't have it.
Look at all the comments. Look at all the comments. Y'all forget. When Andre Dillard either gets banged up or can't play, you're all gonna be on your knees.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Why did we bring Peters back? It would have been a one
start.
It makes
Ball
sense.
start 71. Okay. Ball start 71. Now a 1st and 10 turns into a 1st and 15.
Never thought today.
38-year-old Jason Peters just fucking flinches every fucking time he's on the line.
Cool. And then you guys are all sold on Andre Dillard. So instead of having insurance,
because if you trade up for him, he better be starting.
I didn't trade up for him.
I didn't either, but my GM did.
Okay, my GM's an asshole in the draft.
Oh my God.
So when it comes to proven talent, again, I need a left tackle that I know can play in case the other one can't. So you let Vitae go when I sat here and what I say to all you got to bring somebody back. You got to pay for somebody. You're $20 million under the fucking cap. It ain't the time to be cheap. We talk about your offensive line that was banged up all last year. So you guys are good.
If they're so sold on Dillard, we're not even talking about Peters coming back.
You got to start.
Read between the lines. You got to read between the lines.
Hey, Jerry.
I can't do it.
Come on. Yo, take them glasses off. Mike, wipe them off. Come on, there you go. Come on. Wipe them off.
I love it. I love it.
I understand like that. Oh my God, again. Like I get that argument. I understand it. But to me, any other position, I probably have that argument. I probably right with you. Any other position. But offensive line or left tackle, I'm right with you. I'm over it, right? Sproles, I was over, right?
Yeah.
I'm never going to be over Jason Peters until somebody steps in and says, this is my job. And Andre Dillard had the opportunity to do that last year. Didn't do it as a rookie. So let's see if year 2, he can step in and say to this organization with Jason Peters over his shoulder, this is my job. Because that's going to be my left tackle in the future then. If it makes him a little nervous and a little scared where he needs to buy a couple goddamn dogs to protect him from Jason Peters, he'll never be my left tackle then. That's it.
He's too sweet, man.
Oh, God.
You got to be nasty up there.
Yeah, I mean,
those 3 games he played, he did good, dude. He was okay. He was good.
Ralphie,
you didn't hear a peep from him, dude. You didn't hear a peep from him.
Ralphie, you and I understand. We talk about it every week. How much you and I are annoyed by the Jason Peters false starts, and then
every single week it's something with Jason Peters.
But at the end of the day, Ralphie, again, I almost had a riot at in the middle of the season last year when they went back to Jason Peters after he got hurt and after Dillard shut down Khalil Mack. So I understand the frustration.
Do you forget that, Tommy? You forget that, Tommy? Short memory? Yeah, clap your hands.
You're missing the point. Did I ever say he can't play? Did I say that? Or did I say?
No, you said you didn't have any trust in him.
No. I said I didn't trust the general manager who traded.
Oh, okay.
Would you lock in? I've been saying the same thing. I just want insurance policies. If Jalen Hurts is worth a fucking insurance policy, Jason Peters sure to hell is worth an insurance policy from where I come from in the football world. All right? Because if he ain't worth an insurance policy, I'm done. I'm done. We value a backup quarterback more than the left tackle to keep our quarterback upright. Then what are we going? That is almost like a hit. It's like a JFK hit. This is what it is.
God.
It's on the grassy knoll. Right? They're looking to take Carson out. And there's an agenda, right? A little rabbit hole talk. Let's go down the rabbit hole, boys, and see what we can find. Well, we just found this. Then if you go your case, Ralphie, there's a hit out. There's a
My point is, Ralphie, my point is at the end of the day, if it's another guy that can help protect the quarterback so we don't have to ever see Jalen friggin' Hurts or Nate Sudfeld, I'll do it. I can't stand the fact that we still have to talk about Jason Peters. But if it means the quarterback is going to stay healthy for a longer period, all right, I'm in.
guys.
I'll roll my eyes all day long, but if he stays healthy, I'll be able to sleep at night.
Guys,
but the thing about I gotta see what I have in Andre Dillard.
You
man.
are going to see it.
You have to give him opportunities, dude.
Would you have a newborn? Would you have a newborn? Like, you got to see if he can walk. I got to see if he can walk. I mean, he'll walk. He'll walk when he's ready
I
to
hope
walk.
so, because you haven't seen enough of him.
So I got to – listen, this is the thing you're missing. You guys all in a rush for the probably – I mean, Trey might – you know, I don't know how Trey's going to feel about this, but Jason Peters, best left tackle in franchise history.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
So what happens is at the left tackle position, the quarterback position, you start to roll into the same thing. Okay. And this is what happens, right? A guy gets to the end of his career and you try to find that answer in the draft, right? They're hard positions to find. Why do you think there's never left tackles on the market? Never. It's a hard position to find. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Once you get that left tackle, you never let him go.
Never let him go.
I totally agree.
Exactly. So they're hard to find. So the problem is you think you found him. You hope you found him. All right? But when Derek Barnett is making you cry, like Marquise is saying, I don't know what to say anymore then. Then you got some softness to you, honey, and I got to make sure I keep a tough guy in the room in case, like I said, in case the tampon gets bloody on Sunday, I better have a fresh one ready to go.
I'll tell you right now, there ain't nothing worse than being called sweet on a football field.
Woo.
There ain't nothing worse than that.
Only me calling you honey, Ralphie. And it's the only thing.
I love it.
I get that. Like I said, I'll say it. I get it, guys. But you guys can't go into this year. Look, who's your backup left tackle? Who's your backup right tackle?
It's probably the Prince. It's probably the Prince guy that they got in like the 7th round.
Yeah, stop it.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't even know his last name. I call him the Prince.
And it's even more than this. Jason Peters is back this year. All right. So y'all can book it. People can be unhappy about it. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to get to Broad Street again. I ain't worried about 5 years from now. I ain't worried about I got to see Andre Dillard play to know he's the guy for the next 10 years. No, I got to win now. I owe it to my organization to win now. That window does not stay open long. It's time to win now. All right? Grow up with that. What if all starts with Jason Peters? You're all going to be freaking blowing them with your jerseys on at the whole.
Come on, bro. You know it's coming.
That's
that's coming.
Look at you, Jason. I see you. Look back. Look at me. I never said nothing bad about you. I see you guys all at the Hall of Fame induction already. I can smell what's going to happen.
Oh, my God.
All you guys.
I ain't going to the Hall of Fame induction.
You're going to be running up. Look, you're going to be trying to give the speech. I already see it.
Ralphie, can I make an educated guess and say that the Jason Peters thing is probably on your top 3 worst moves?
No, it to be honest, it was up there, but since we cut it down to 3, I had a couple more.
Wow, I'm surprised that wasn't number 1.
Well, the only reason why I didn't put it on there was because it's a rumor, so the move actually hasn't been made yet. So I didn't know if that could, be put on there. So I didn't put it on there. It could have been there. Should have been there, to be honest.
Nathan, I'm late to the chat, but is Clowney coming to Philly or what? Hopefully not. Is anybody in on Clowney in here?
Absolutely not.
It's
Jules?
tough.
I'm gonna say no. Just because I don't know where he takes plays off. Like we don't want that over here. You gotta be all in, and I think that won't sit well with the locker room.
Listen, Dak, great, but now that's in 2020. That's our backups, and we're putting over Jason Peters for 1 year.
Seems like it seems like when you look at both sides of the ball, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, on defense, which we're all impressed with, except for obviously linebacking core, we are impressed and excited about the defensive side of the ball because what do they all have? Proven guys who have been in the league, complemented with some younger guys, especially like everyone's talking about Kevon Wallace. I really like him. You're able to get him in the fourth. So you have guys who have been in the league, have done something, and you know who they are. And then when you go to the other side of the football, on the offensive side, it's like it's a gigantic project. Sure, the tight ends, it's self-explanatory. The starting quarterback, but then you go and you open the quarterback factory, so that's a project. You have a running back core, and I don't know if you're going to try and start a running back factory because you have about 6 guys who have played like 2 snaps in the NFL that are just sitting there in the Elijah Holyfields, and then just all the other guys that haven't even played here once. And then you have the wide receiver core to where you have Alshon, who's not going to be ready probably at the beginning of the season. You're going to have Deshaun, who averages about 7 healthy games a year, and I'm probably being generous. Jalen Reagor, who 90% of the fan base thinks was a reach. And either way, even if he was a reach or not, you can't expect him to be a superstar year one like Tom and we've all been talking about for a while. Then you have the project guys.
My wife turned the lights off earlier. So.
What happened?
No, Len turned the lights off by accident because there's a piece of there's a strip going across in it.
Oh, okay.
And all the lights went off. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, it's better than having the power going out.
I've been rocking with just the spotlights on me right now. And I'm like, everything's dark around me. It's starting to get creepy.
But then you have obviously the project guys. You have Goodwin, who, if he can stay healthy, cool, that's great. Maybe he'll have a couple catches. He can run fast, that's great. And then you obviously have Hightower, who we like. Yeah. Quez Watkins, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just a bunch of guys. And then don't forget about the quarterback that they got as an undrafted free agent, who he's now a converted wide receiver.
Khalil Tate. Yeah, man.
So it's a giant project.
Khalil. Yeah, I mean, take a look at Greg Ward. I mean, he was a quarterback converted to a wide receiver.
Oh, I forgot about Greg Ward. Jesus Christ.
He made himself a name in an Eagles uniform. I'm very curious on what Khalil Tate's going to do. I liked his 1 year at Arizona. Then Kevin Sumlin happened, fell off the face of the earth. I hope he gets his redemption, Khalil.
Robert Meyer says the tackle factory is coming.
Yeah. Yep. It's coming, boys.
I know there was some Driscoll love in here.
Yeah, a lot of Driscoll love, a lot of Prince Tega Winoga love, a lot of Auburn tackle love.
Jules, I'll give you this one. Gavin says, how did Kevon Wallace drop that far? I know you're a big secondary guy.
I just think because of his size, finding the right role for the right scheme and defense, and also I don't think he didn't really run well either. So
gotcha. Let's see. Natero does not want Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah. He called Philadelphia fans the worst fans in the world because we were mad at him for taking out our franchise quarterback with a dirty cheap shot. And again, I'll take him like at the most. And I get it. He's a guy who's the extra piece who can take the defensive line over the edge. I get why people would want him. But I would rather have a guy like Everson Griffin.
Yeah.
Not a friggin' scumbag also.
Exactly.
And also, like we've talked about before, Clowney, if he was commanding anything in the realm of reality, he would have been signed a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's still out there.
Absolutely.
He's still out there. So clearly everyone understands what's truly overrated or wrong with the guy. The guy's going out there saying he wants $20 million a year. I mean, that's just
he's not worth $20 million.
No. I'll give him 1 year 13. I'll play that game.
Yeah.
But I feel like we can get better in other ways. I feel like we can
Absolutely.
get 2 guys who are Band-Aids for that price. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take Everson Griffin,
yeah.
right? Because I know what I can get out of him. Like Jules said, Clowney's a good piece, but sometimes, he just disappears a lot. And the fact that, Clowney and when he was with the Texans and he had J.J. Watt on the other side, the dude never even sniffed 10 or more snacks in a year, even with J.J. Watt on the other side. So
is this true? Wait, is that true? Everson Griffin tried to break into a team.
I think I heard that story.
Maybe he forgot his jacket. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm sure he ran a great 40 time getting in that house.
It's just crazy to me that Clowney wanted $20 million.
Yeah.
And he didn't even get it. He wasn't even going to get it. So
yeah, I'm sure. Angry
just goes to show how much market value he really is.
No, he's gonna sign a 1 year deal with somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 1 year deal.
Let's see. Natero says Josh Sweat, 80 run snaps, 15 stops. Barnett, 211 snaps, 19 stops. Clowney, 150 snaps, 20 stops. Oh, there you go. Some stat talk.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Okay, here you go. Mason Rye, 16. How about Logan Ryan and Everson Griffin?
Oh,
Let's go.
I'll be happy with that.
Logan
Absolutely.
Ryan. I'll take Logan Ryan now.
I'll be happy with that.
I love Logan Ryan. He's good with Tennessee. I'll take him. I'll take him for another corner. Can't have too many corners. Absolutely. Can't have too many corners. Let's go.
No, we'll just lack a tackle.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Ready for the Prince. Let's get. You guys want to get into some of the lists?
Yeah, it's fine, Ryan.
That's okay. Real.
Correct, ETP. He's back, baby.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
fully
back.
healthy too. Fully healthy.
Don Everson Griffin would be a great addition to that team.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
we just got done talking about that. Yeah, I think bringing in Griffin would be a good move.
Oh yeah.
Another edge guy.
Let's see. Joe Hamlin says Griffin would really help our defense. Clowney is such a beast, but 20 million, ouch. Logan Ryan is a solid corner as well. Yeah, and Kenny was saying earlier, I don't see a need for Logan Ryan. It would be a cheap insurance policy at this point. If you don't trust Sidney Jones or the guys that you already have, the younger guys, he's somebody that can come right in and be, a starter if you need to.
He's way better than any of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Who, Logan Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Because we all know how Sidney is.
Yep. I mean, improvement
Fucking roller coaster.
talent again, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want proven talent. And snapback jug, we need a linebacker like Jeremiah Trotter, monster.
Yeah.
We had that.
Could have gotten that at 21, but
We had that.
Rieger.
Or you could have got one in free agency.
Yep.
We just got Patrick Queen. I'll swap with the Ravens again. Been saying
Yep.
that. Yeah, so let's get into our best and worst moves 2020 for the Eagles.
All right. So how do you want to do this, Rye?
Whatever you want to do. Bring up Tom's first. Do the Tom's best moves first, and we'll go down.
All right. I will do that. Let me.
While you're doing that,
I don't know if the locker room liked them, Angry Eagles fan, but I production wise, obviously I'm good with. And Marquis says the line struggles where the cornerbacks fall. I completely agree with that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't cover, you ain't helping your defensive line out. I mean, there's such a when you talk about success at both levels, they both help each other out so much.
Put this down here. All right, there we go.
All right, so when I thought were the three best moves in this offseason, and honestly, at first I was like, you know what, this isn't in order. But then the more I thought about it, guys, and everybody listening, and I want your guys' opinions on this, because I think the more I think about Darius Slay, obviously is the big name and the one that sells us all, right, guys? So I get it.
Yeah.
But the number one move to me this offseason was with Robey-Coleman. When you talk about the slot position in this league on the offense side of the football, how important it is to team success and the ability to be able to stop it. And you see most of the teams that are hanging in late in the postseason can defend the slot, either if it's with linebackers and safety over tops or guys that can go one-on-one. Not only can he go one-on-one, not only is he best nickel slot, whatever you want to call a guy in football, he takes the football away too. Right, so it makes it even bigger. When you talk about Patrick Robinson's impact to this football team in 2017, might have been one of the biggest impacts defensively that none of us talked about. You know why? Because the slot position is almost like a lineman sometimes. You get forgot about, right? You're not the outside guy. You're not talked about a ton. But if you get it done in there, nobody needs to know about you, right? And that's the great thing. Nobody talks about you when you get it done, right? So that's how I look at a little bit of the slot position at times. And I can't stress how great of a move this was by Howie Roseman.
Mm-hmm.
I can say it a million times. I hope the people out there, appreciate this move, even though it's a 1-year deal. And then we transition to number 2, and that's Darius Slay. So, the combo, the impact of these two changes complete secondary. I mean, it's an uplift. It's a facelift and a great one too. Not one of the ones you get, in some back shop. We're talking about Hollywood facelifts here. We're talking about the best of the best, and this is what you went out and did. Now, I wasn't as big of a Slay guy as everybody else is, right? And people have noticed about me, but he can still flat out play, right? So I won't take anything away from that. I just wasn't going to give up Sydney and other and players for him. I was saying from day one, I'll take Darius Slay. Just picks. That's what Howie did. I love the move there too. And again, a lockdown guy, a guy who can be left on an island, so important in this league. A guy who's proven to be left on an island, and you don't run with an Instagram tag, big play Slay, if you can't get it done. So it's that simple, right? The persona, the confidence, that's what you need on the outside, and Darius Slay flat out brings that to you, and so does Robey-Coleman. So about two confident guys, you just got in your cornerback room now. Two really confident veterans, love them. Javon Hargrave, again, underrated. You could argue maybe the best one if you really wanted to, because you know how important up front is. But to go along with Fletcher Cox and what this allows you to do now with Malik Jackson, where most of his success came, pressure-wise, sack-wise, the end when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not that he's not a stud inside, too, because he is. But this allows you to be a little bit rotational. This also allows you to play Malik Jackson with Hargrave at times, give Fletcher Cox some blows. You saw the stuff that happened in 2017 when you're able to give this front some blows. And November, December, guys were fresher, and now it was time to eat. So you wonder if you can keep that same recipe again in 2020. That formula is looking really good, and it's looking even better because I said, number one, Robey-Coleman fills that Patrick Robinson role times 10. You understand that? Times 10. Okay, Patrick Robinson can't hold Robey-Coleman's jock strap, but times 10. Darius Slay times 20. Anything you had on your roster, maybe even $1 million. So you went out and you addressed it, and you got ball players. I'm jacked up for this defense. I noticed the defense is city. I know we live and die by our defense, and your quarterback's best friend, I'll say it 1,000,000 times, is a damn defense that can get off the field on third downs and take the football away. And when you look at the first two on this list, they take it away, baby. They're taking away to the next guy. Notice something, right? This is very important. I'm not trying to talk down to nobody, really just Ralphie. But this is so important.
I love it.
This is so important.
Rent free, baby. Rent free.
It's so important to know that, I didn't put any offensive players on that list.
Yep.
Right? It's don't forget some of the things that win in this league, too. Right? I mean, I could have put Jalen Reagor on this list. Again, I'm not going to put that on that kid right now. I'm not going to put it on him. Let him go out and play before I put it on him to be the number one guy and put that pressure on, right? I don't need to put that pressure on him yet individually, and if I can avoid to and let a kid breathe and relax and get ready, I'm going to do it. They're my three guys.
Love it. Mr. Vespe, next one up.
Yeah,
All right, this is Mr. Ralph Dellavecchio.
All right, fellas, let's do it.
Take the gloves off.
All right, so my number one, almost like with Tommy, signing cornerbacks can actually play football, right? We were tired of seeing the corners getting burnt in every single goddamn play. You brought in Slay, big time outside guy. You brought in Coleman, great slot corner, one of the best in the league to do it. I love it. Number one, that was the best move. Number two, getting Carson a wide receiver that can, that's good enough to play. And that was a good move. Obviously, 21, it was either Jefferson, you were going wide receiver 21, or a different position. We were all hoping for a wide receiver. Obviously, it wasn't the guy in Jefferson that we wanted, but they got Reagor at 21. That's my number two. Number three, I think this is going to be an underrated move.
Oh.
What happened?
So you're now sold.
No, one of the good moves was just getting a wide receiver for Carson.
No, even if he can't play?
Well, you got one anyway, right? Because Alshon's going to be on the pup list.
No, I'm just
to
saying.
Start the year.
You can't. You did a little 180, honey.
I didn't do a 180.
You beat me to it, Tom. You beat me.
I ain't doing 180.
I mean, number two on your list, Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll go back and watch
number three.
Last night again and just fast forward to 21. I'm curious.
But I gave you the explanation of what happened.
Yeah, you could say you did. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted Patrick Queen all the time.
I know.
You had to give your quarterback a wide receiver, though.
You're right. You're 100% right on that.
You had to.
But you also got to give your defense a middle linebacker. But go ahead.
Oh, you'll see my next list. Number 3. I think this is going to be I think this is an underrated move. Moving Jalen Mills to safety. I think it's going to be underrated. I think he's going to thrive at the safety position. A guy that when you got down to the red zone, he was locked down. Now he can play that red zone defense back there a little bit. He doesn't have to worry about getting beat over the top. Everything's in front of him. Loves to tackle. I think it's a great spot for him. So those are my 3 best moves.
Just don't bite with the crosser.
Just don't bite. We're good. Yeah.
Don't bite.
Yep.
Don't take the bait.
Don't you nibble.
Love it, Ralphie.
Good list. That's 2.
Yeah.
From where you are. Anybody else puts that in 2, I'm like, let it slide.
Oh, I know.
You were linebacker, you. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, where'd he go? We were linebacker, me and you.
Yeah, but the thing at 21 now, it was either wide receiver or but we all knew it was going to be a wide receiver at 21. I was just hoping for Queen.
Yeah, I'm right with you. We knew where it was going. Well, I'm glad it went that way.
And that's why I had a good move, because at some point you had to give your guy another talent at the wide receiver position.
Absolutely.
Next, Mr. Vespe.
It is Mr. Ryan Brodo. It is your turn.
I know.
All right, so I went a little different, which is good. Number 1, I combined the Slay and Javon Hargrave signing, and I'll put Coleman in there as well.
You don't got to do that, right? You're good. This was your list.
No,
because I do like that too. It was going to
add on. We'll talk about this when the day comes. You don't got to add on now.
Yep. I can see a 180, huh?
Like, don't you add on now?
Yeah, I was going to say that, Tommy.
Because we got that in our mouth for Robey. Don't.
So number 1, I'm going to go with acquiring Darius Slay, Javon Hargrave, and Robey-Coleman. On top of that, because at the end of the day, like we talked about, Tom, you're spot on with it. Javon Hargrave, number 1. Everyone says, "Oh, well, there wasn't a need for him. There wasn't." With this D-line, if you have an opportunity to get better at any position, you're going to do it, especially given how this organization values both line plays. That's why Jason Peters is going to be back in a couple weeks, by the way, Ralphie.
Quarterback.
But at the end of the day, then you look at Darius Slay, who not only is going to change the way we play in the secondary on the field, I think he's, like we talked about before with other players, I think he's a culture changer. I think that because of how confident he is and the fact that he's a ball hawk, and when you look at over the last 2 seasons to where not only none of our secondary, players, safeties, and obviously cornerbacks weren't ball hawks, they didn't even know how to they didn't even know how to turn around to catch the ball. So I think having somebody in there who's made a career out of that, I think he's going to help the younger guys, especially a guy like Sidney Jones, of gaining confidence on the field. Number 2, and I had to go way back for this, but it is a part of the off season. That's actually moving on for Mike Rowe and Carson Walsh. It seems like that was 5 years ago at this point. But listen, at the end of the year, especially when those comments came out in that press conference about, Doug saying, oh, he's confident in his guys, and the entire city went and started riding down the street, and only for about 24 hours later, you hear the announcement that these 2 guys are gone. At the end of the day, sometimes it's okay to realize you made a mistake. And I understand that Doug said, oh, Mike Rowe's his guy. He took him from the Rams, or that's the last team he was at before he was fired by his father, which I still don't understand how Mike Rowe, after he gets fired by his father, gets an NFL job or multiple NFL jobs. You move on. It clearly wasn't working. And I know at the end of the day, people were saying, oh, well, we really don't know how much Mike Rowe and Carson Walsh was involved in the offense. At the end of the day, you look at when we were winning and when we weren't winning, and those 2 guys were the common denominators of when we weren't winning. So it was time to move on.
Can I ask you a question now?
Yeah.
And I'm playing devil's advocate here with it, and part of it I feel is true. I think I think it's a terrible fire after what happened last year. If you want to fire him in 2018, then do it. You understand me? But after what happened last year and what transpired on the offensive side of the football, and the resiliency and the ability to get guys on the fly, to be able to step in and play, I think he was slapped in the face. Honestly, you want to be honest with you? I'm not saying the guy can coach. I'm not saying you guys cannot disagree with me all you want. But production we act like there wasn't production. We act like we didn't go to another, we weren't back in the playoffs again. We act like our quarterback didn't go down in the first quarter of a playoff game. We're acting like our wide receivers weren't banged up from week 1. We're acting like a bunch of practice squad guys and in our running backs, a rookie and then practice squad guys are being impactful day one when they step on the football field and this team goes on a little run at the end of the year. I think some credit, just as much like we can always blame guys, but we have to give credit sometimes. That deserves some credit too. That's why I think Doug came out, and I think Doug got overrode on this, and I'll stand by this all day and every day. This is what I don't want from Jeffrey Lurie. I'll say this again. I do not want this from Jeffrey Lurie. All right? Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl here, Jeffrey. Okay? So I gotta trust him. If he comes out to the media and says, this is my guy, now I don't give a shit about Carson Walsh. You understand? I ain't gonna talk about him. I'm just gonna talk about Groh because he's the spotlight name. But he came out and said this guy's back. And not even 24 hours later, he's gone. So that means Jeffrey Lurie came down from upstairs and made the call to fire Mike Groh. Why? Because fans don't like him. Listen, I'm not saying I like Mike Groh at all. I'm just saying we can't go by what we want. We got to go by what this coaching staff wants. Now, I was all for an upgrade. I think we did it. I'm happy with it. But I think he gets a little bit too much shit for last year that really carried over from 2018. You want to talk about 2018 and being annoyed with Mike Groh? Fine. Last year, I can't do it. All the injuries and still come out winning the NFC East.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, listen, I completely understand that they finished very strong. Listen, they won the games they needed to, and they went on that run with obviously very, very little offensive talent, injuries all over the place. But I can't ignore, and I'm not saying you're ignoring it, we can't ignore all of the hardships they had on the offense for the first 12, 13, 14 games of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Why? So all this is going on?
Say that again?
As all this is going on?
Well, no,
this happened day one. I mean, I'm just telling you, you're losing number one and number two wideouts day one, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Day one. You guys don't expect there to be hiccups offensively?
Oh, absolutely. But
I don't know any other coordinator that's going to take this team to the playoffs.
No, I hear you, but at the end of the day, when you look at it, I mean, we were ripping this entire coaching staff apart for not bringing up guys. And I understand that, a guy like Mike Groh isn't going to be at the top of, the decision-making with this. But you're running guys out there like friggin' Matt Collins when you have a Boston Scott, for example, and obviously Greg Ward. At the end of the day, we were all saying the same thing. Where was this at the beginning of the season or for the first half of the season when we couldn't get anything going on the passing game? The stubbornness at the end of the day. And also what Mike Groh was trying to do with Carson. And at the end, we have to remember this too. Carson Wentz started playing really well, number one, because obviously he brought in guys that were hungry, these no-name guys. And two, at the end of the day, they started letting him play like him. Mike Groh was very, very, very adamant of saying, we want him to have this more conservative approach, not really rolling out as much, staying in the pocket, going through his reads, getting rid of it. At the end of the season, the success with Carson Wentz was, okay, just go play. Just go play. So Mike Groh's plan, preaching all the way back to when he came back in 2018 of, we want Carson to really work on accuracy and staying in the pocket. We saw very clearly that's not him. That's not him. And that caused him to force it. And that caused him, obviously, to not extend plays because we all know when Carson has the ability to extend plays, especially when the offensive line isn't doing him any favors, that helps. That helps. So
that's also not a fireable offense.
No, but it's not a factor to keep him with the job either.
He doesn't have the power. The power to make that call. Period. I mean, go to the throw. He just doesn't have the. I mean, he's just getting too much credit for power, and then when the team does have success offensively with a bunch of no names, it's like, well, it doesn't matter because that's 11 or that's Doug. That's all my point is. I'm not saying Mike Groh should be here. I was going to let Mike Groh go. I just say that a lot of people just from 2018, because 2018 we slow starts, all that crap. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that I want Carson in the pocket because I want him moving, but I don't know. I just think he was just a scapegoat. I just don't like the way it went down. I find it odd that my coach gives him, the green light one day and 24 hours later he's gone. Who's calling shots? That's my issue. That looks like a power struggle. I don't like that.
Listen, I think we were on the same show together on Wednesday night to where we were talking about how, we were ripping the way they did that. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of Mike Groh, but Mike Groh's still a human being. So he deserves the respect of at least knowing the status of his job instead of flip-flopping within a 24, 48-hour period. So I completely agree to where the way they handled the firing, Absolutely. It was a spit in the face, it was a slap in the face, and it was ultimate disrespect for a guy, no matter what he did or didn't do for this football team. He was somebody that devoted time, and he was obviously given the opportunity to do a job here. So the way they went about it, absolutely. I completely agree with you. They went about it the wrong way. My only point is the ability, especially in past years, where we talk about guys in this organization being stubborn, not moving on, not having the ability or at least the willingness to maybe go in a different direction. And clearly we're looking at this direction. It seems like maybe maybe by this time next year, I might want Mike Rowe back because this new regime, it looks like they're going gadget play, go gadget. So maybe Mike Rowe was a genius and we're going to see that in a year. But the way I look at it, something clearly wasn't working and Mike Rowe was the common denominator. And the third, and people aren't going to like this. I know some people were mentioning it so some people agree with me. I was not a fan of going out and just throwing all that money and guaranteed money and all the years that Malcolm Jenkins wanted on his new deal. You know, we talked about it numerous times. I didn't like that over the past 2 years, coming off of the loss to the Saints and obviously the loss to the Seahawks. Malcolm immediately wanted to talk about his paycheck, his pocket, and his contract. I understand it's a business, but Malcolm, you're no rookie. You know the right and wrong. You know the timings here. And when we talk about how Howie and this entire organization was talking about going younger, moving forward, obviously allotting some money and spreading it out, bringing back Malcolm Jenkins with all that guaranteed money at, obviously he's 32 right now. He's going to be 33 shortly. It didn't fit with this organizational plan going forward. And we already know, listen, I appreciate what Malcolm's done for this organization. I appreciate that he hasn't missed a snap over the last 2 years. But we can't say with a straight face that he's still the Malcolm Jenkins of 3, 4, 5 years ago. He's starting to move and he's starting to deteriorate it a little bit. So if I'm locking him in for a 3 or 4 year deal with all that guaranteed money, and next year he comes in and he's a complete shell of himself, we're looking at an Al Horford situation here, but just on the Eagles. You know what I mean? So I think the willingness to do that and the way that they obviously converted Jalen Mills, they got Kevon Wallace, Will Parks, and obviously McLeod. I think having those guys in there is going to be perfect for obviously the situation that we're going through.
Yeah, I was done with him too. So
yeah, I agree with that. Not giving him the big contract. Completely agree.
Let's see, Mr. Vespe, next one, sir.
Well, it's just me and Jules left. Who do you want?
Throw mine up there.
All right, there you go. It's ready to go.
All right. Number one, we have trading for Darius Slay. Just to piggyback on what everybody else said, for the last so many years, we've been knocking down doors for us to get a corner, and I do think that we finally got one. We got a dog on the outside, and I'm hoping that Jim Schwartz allows him. I don't know if they already said it, but hopefully he allows them to cover their number one receiver all game, follow him across the field. And if that happens, you could expect big plays to be given up because that's what it is. You're going against the best week in, week out, cover number one receiver. You're not going to shut everybody down. You're going to give up plays. So, we just got to take it with a grain of salt. Picking up Derek Barnett's fifth-year option, I think is a really big move. All right. The guy can play, all right. If he just just focuses in on what he has to do and focuses in on one play at a time, I think he can be a really good player. This is a contract year, so we're really going to see what he's made of. And then this year, I'm predicting probably like close to 9.5 sacks for him.
I'm right there.
I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not seeing 12, 13 sacks. I'm not going crazy. No, but the 9.5 doesn't seem far-fetched at all.
If he's going to have that year, it's going to be this year, right?
Exactly, especially with the guys that that are on that line. He's going to be seeing one-on-ones all game long.
Yeah, if you can't eat now, you won't eat, period.
Exactly. So they're really, really going to find out what he's made of. And the third one is re-signing Rodney McLeod and drafting Kevon Wallace. I wasn't the most a big fan of McLeod. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I just didn't like him in the role that he was in. And now what I expect him is to be in that Malcolm Jenkins kind of role. And when you move Jalen Mills up top more, this is going to mold Kayvon Wallace to kind of be, the mentor of Rodney McLeod's, show him, the scheme, the style, the film, everything. I think Rodney McLeod is a very good pro, and he's a very good player. So
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that, Kayvon Wallace, going forward in his career, it's going to show, from Rodney McLeod, and also McLeod learned from Jenkins. You say you wanted about Jenkins, but the contract, but he put it all out on the line on the field every Sunday, and he did a lot of good things for us on defense. So that's what I have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, I will pull mine up. All right, I am ready to go. All right, so for my 3 best moves, the first one, you're making the right trades. I absolutely love the trade for big play Slay, and getting a cap-friendly contract. I mean, it shows you why that Howie is a cap wizard. And also adding on to that, you get the draft capital on day 3. We basically had the same amount added up to the same amount of picks from the past 2 years. We turned 8 picks into 10, and we addressed those depth issues. And we got Marquise Goodwin in that process. So that is my number 1 right there. And also to add on to number 1, not budging to trade for Yannick Ngakoue. Yeah, I don't want to get into that rabbit hole. It's going to be a cap nightmare. Had we traded for him, it would have been a roster nightmare with every single rumor going on for Yannick. Trade Ertz, trade Alshon, trade the whole farm to get Yannick Ngakoue. I'm so glad that we did not get him in this offseason. But, still, those rumors are still going strong. I still hope that it doesn't happen. Number 2, you addressed firing Mike Rome and Carson Walsh. Ryan, you hit the nail on the head for me. But before we started the show, I completely forgot about Corey Unlin to add there because he got fired as well.
No, he didn't get fired. He got picked up by the
he got picked up to Detroit, but Unlin's gone. So one of the last bits of the Chip Kelly era is on a different team. Probably going to ruin the Lions even further. So
I do think that's a very good that he's gone, because get somebody here to show these defensive backs some new techniques, because we were so tired of watching the same thing every single week, not turning for the ball. How do you teach the defensive back nowadays to not turn for the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
pretty bad, Jules. Pretty bad.
It's terrible.
I wanted him going more than Mike Rowe, obviously, but Frank, the only reason why I didn't put it on my list, it's because I can't say it was a good move by the Eagles because another team swooped him up. Right. You know what I mean? So if this guy was let go and then he was picked up, okay, but he literally just got promoted and he was like, okay, bye. So he left us. As crazy as that is, he left us.
Good.
But him not being there, even if we didn't pull the trigger on that move, I'm glad that it's gone.
Oh, you can put Ralph there. Ralph knows how to turn around for the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
very easy. Give me $10 mil. I'll make every stop.
Or $10.
Right. And then number 3, I got signing Javon Hargrave and Nickel Robey-Coleman. Getting Robey-Coleman. This was a signing I secretly wanted for a while. He had some oomph to the corners, and him in big plays play. It's going to be fun to watch in the secondary. So that's going to be my number 3 right there.
I'm predicting about eight picks this year for Slay. 8 picks, something that we haven't seen here in a long time.
Breaks the record. Breaks the record.
You mean to tell me that somebody's going to have an interception? What?
Wow.
Yep.
All right, so who do you want to start with the worst?
I'll go first. All
right, hold on. Let me get you ready to go.
Take your time, Frank. I'm going to run through these comments.
Take your time, Frank.
All right. Yeah, it's ready to go. Just run through the comments.
Somebody's having an argument about something over in this comments.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. It's like it's angry Eagles fan versus everybody.
They were like talking. I remember in one conversation it was like OU versus TCU, some Big 12 talk.
Above my pay grade.
Go.
A lot of people agreeing that Jenkins declined. It's time to let the older players go.
Letting the older players go, huh? What a shock there. Some people want older players to come back.
Are you alluding to a certain left tackle?
Somebody with red eyes in here. What wants the older players back there? He is.
Tom,
There he is.
it's not the same thing.
Oh, I love it.
Not the same thing.
It's not.
Worst. Time for the worst, right? Malcolm.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a shady cat. He probably was the rat the whole time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, probably.
Ralph's. Let me pull
Fucking
it
rat.
up. There we go. All right.
All right, let's bring it up.
It is up and ready to go.
All right. All right, my worst moves. Obviously, number one, not addressing linebackers, boy. We're thin, still thin. I don't care. Nathan Gary stinks. Not good enough.
Thanks.
TJ Edwards doesn't move the needle. Sean Bradley, cool. Hometown guy. The news will do a good story on him.
He was 15 minutes from where I live.
Yeah, there you go. Channel 6 will do a news story on him. Awesome. Number two, taking Jalen Hurts at number 53. You bashed your heads into the wall many times talking about this. I don't need to go over it. Number three, not trading up for CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. Two top wide receivers were right there for the taking for you to draft to trade up and actually get your guy, a playmaker, a guy that can actually do, somewhat decent or might even be really, really good in the league. But you didn't make the moves, and you sat there and took 21. Obviously, you took Jalen Ringer at 21. So those are my three worst moves. Basically all draft. All draft. Not even one off season. Just all draft. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
All right.
Yep. All agrees. Never disagree.
I don't have any objections.
All right. Next one
man.
up. It is Tom.
Let's go, Tommy. There you go, Tommy.
Well, listen, number one's easy. It's simple. We're not going to get into it again, but we know it's not the kid. It's not really even the player. It's the decision in the second round when another quarterback didn't go for almost 60 picks. So there wasn't a run on quarterbacks. There wasn't a need for you to go there right there. You could have waited. You could have used some of your force maybe to come in the early third round and make that same selection. So we've been through that road. No depth at the running back position in free agency or the draft. Okay, I mean that is a big time issue for me heading into the 2020 season, and I'm just not a believer in the wear and tear of my running backs. The fresher they can be, the better success we're going to have running the football. And it's so important when the weather gets cold that you got to run the football well, and we know the importance of that. And to overlook it and not address it, it continues to be an issue of this front office, and that ties right to number three. No starting middle linebackers, like Ralphie said. It's the same thing. It means a flat-out disgrace that you wait until that late in the draft to try to address it, that you're going to try to sell us on TJ Edwards. You're going to try to sell us on Sean Bradley. They flat-out aren't good enough to play right now as a starting middle linebacker in the National Football League. So now your options become go back, reverse, and go get a guy like Nigel Bradham. Or you could just swap drafts with the Baltimore Ravens immediately, and then you got two middle linebackers. So they don't want to value it. They want to overlook it. They want to act like it's not a need. Well, guess what? You went up the middle in this league. And like Jules said earlier, you think because you have these great tackles, you can throw anybody back there and they can play. Well, news flash. In 2017, Nigel Bradham had a great year, and people forget that. You need a middle linebacker that can play at this level. That's it.
Facts.
Yep. Totally
Can't
agree.
stress it enough.
Nope.
Look at all the top defenses. They don't have a plug-in middle linebacker. Some guy off the street that they made into a linebacker.
Yep. You don't want to be,
Come on.
you're not going to be top five without that. You're just not.
You need a solid middle linebacker, man. You have to have one. Have to have one.
All right, the next one. Frank, you ready?
It is ready.
All right.
All right,
so
Ryan, you're up.
All right, some more novels for you. Again, number one,
Once upon a
self-explanatory.
time.
It's not about the kid. It's about the situation and the time. You don't draft a backup quarterback when you already have a top 10 quarterback in the second friggin' round. I don't care if they traded up. I don't care if they stayed there. I don't care if they traded back. You don't do it. Not when you guys have numerous opportunities to get better now. You could have taken friggin' J.K. Dobbins. You could have taken Denzel Mims. You could have taken Matt Hennessy. Hey, Ralph, you could have taken another left tackle. I don't care because those guys would have helped you now. Jalen Hurts, Sure, he'll probably play a handful of snaps here and there in the gimmick gadget play system, whatever they're going to be trying to do. I'm not interested in that. I appreciate the kid. I like the kid. I hope that he's a good quarterback. Just not here. Just not here. 2, this one was close to being my number 1. And this is like I alluded to earlier. I think we're going to look back on this offseason and talk about missed opportunities. We had the opportunity to land DeAndre Hopkins or Stephon Diggs or trade up to get CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. We chose Reagor over all 4 of those. Again, I think Reagor is going to be a very good player in this offense. He's going to be a good player. Nobody's saying he's trash. Nobody's saying he's going to be a bust. I'm not even going to go and say he's a reach because I'm sick and tired of that now. He was picked where he was picked. We just have to see what type of player he is now. You can't tell me that Reagor, not only just year 1, period, is a better weapon than DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs. And then on top of that, and I know some people aren't big on Lamb and some, for some reason, aren't big on Jeudy. Lamb and Jeudy are going to have a higher expectation, and they could start and be difference makers for you earlier. I don't care if he, DeAndre Hopkins didn't fit into what we were trying to do and Jalen Reagor fits. When you have a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, I don't need him to fit. You know what the offense is called? It's get that guy the football. He'll catch it. You guys will win games. That's the offense. It's Carson Wentz versus DeAndre Hopkins. It worked pretty good for Deshaun Watson, did it not? And Bill O'Brien's idiotic offense. You had the opportunity. And you say, oh, Ryan, you had to trade at least 2, a second-round pick and a 4th-round pick and probably a player for DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, so you're telling me you're trading the pick that it would end up being Jalen Hurts. Okay, I'm in. The pick that would have ended up being any 4th-round pick, you had 3 of them, and a player. Okay, can I sign that up, please? Is it too late to go back in time? I'll do it. The Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I mean, they gave up a lot for him in Buffalo, but at the end of the day, if we get him, are we going to be unhappy? I think Stephon Diggs, I think we can all agree, he's a difference maker day 1. So I think, again, they're going to be a good player. Reagor's going to be a good player. But you have guys that are on the table that could have been difference makers day 1.
That are proven players.
Exactly, Jules. And 3, Tom, piggybacking right off of your second one, not getting insurance for Miles Sanders. They still have the opportunity to do this, so that's why I kept it 3rd. But the best they can do right now is Devontae Freeman. Carlos Hyde fits, but it doesn't excite me. Shady McCoy, I'm not excited about it. It doesn't really do anything for me because you're just bringing in a guy who is an older, slower version of Miles Sanders. Doesn't do anything. The guy was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl. I'm good. You had opportunities, again, J.K. Dobbins and other, players, not only in the draft, but free agency and via trade, to bring in to be a perfect complement to Miles Sanders in this offense. They didn't do it. I like Miles. I hear everyone saying, at the end of the day, Miles Sanders is going to be the bell cow. He's the guy. I think that's going to come back and bite us. I like him, but I think we're just playing too many games, especially with our history of injuries, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So that's my 3. Marquez says, you don't know that, Ryan. Tavon Austin and Sammy Watkins were supposed to be more effective than Hopkins and Beckham. We have to stop being infatuated with names or what they – no, Marquez. Again, people are getting lost. We hope, okay? We hope that Jalen Reagor becomes a really good player. Wouldn't we rather just go out and get the guy that we already know is a really good player? We hope, as much as we believe or don't believe in any of these guys that we got, we hope they end up being a guy like Hopkins or Watkins, not even Watkins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in project. I'm not. I'm done with the project. I'll deal with the project on the other 3 teams in this city. I want guys that can show up, stay healthy, and catch a damn football. I'm not saying Reagor can't, but I know DeAndre Hopkins can better than probably anybody else. That's not named Julio Jones. And you had him. You had him in the palm of your hand. You could have done.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You let him go at the
choked again. He choked again.
I like Reagor, but he's not Hopkins. Next one, Mr. Vespe.
I got Jules up.
All right. We all know number 1 is here. Same as everybody else's list.
Taking Jalen Hurts at 53. Like you said, it's not the player. It's just the where you took him. If you take him even in the third round, it's not as bad as the second, because you can still take an impactful player in the second.
Absolutely.
You take a linebacker in the second, and now we're not having these problems, which will lead me into number 2 with the no linebacker acquisition that makes an impact. Day one impact. Okay, you didn't even sign. Even if you didn't draft a linebacker, which you should have. I'm not talking about Davion Taylor. Okay, you don't know what he's going to be yet. But even if you just sign somebody to make an impact day one, and I'm not talking about this, the guy they got from the Chargers. We don't even know if he could play. Same thing last year with Zach Brown. They try to give you these names, that they had a little bit of success, maybe for a half a year. Maybe a guy had 90 tackles. Oh yeah, it's good enough, but you just can't. They don't produce over a long period of time, and I don't know how you can just ignore not going into the season or as of right now with no linebackers. It's really doing us not caring about the fan base at all. And number 3, the cluster of slot corners and not enough guys on the outside that can play opposite of Slay. Okay, the best case scenario is Robey-Coleman plays all 16 games and none of the other guys even touch the field. Okay, like LeBlanc, Maddox. Maybe you could spell him a little bit. Give guys a breather. But the best case scenario is he's on the field. At all times, for the most part. But if you look at the other side, opposite of Slay, where we have, the 2 names really are Sidney Jones, who we hope has, this is his year that we're all hoping for, and Rasul Douglas, and we all know how we feel about Rasul Douglas. So those are the 2 guys, that are going to get picked on outside of Slay. And when you had guys, in the second round, like Christian Fulton, even. I believe Diggs was still there at 53. It's going to be a problem. And when guys start going down, because how it is. With our corners, guys start going down. We're going to be depleted. You might have to move Mills back there just for depth issues. We are in a good spot now with Slay, but opposite of him, I think we could address it a little more.
Yeah, quick, K Savage. Why are we writing off Rasul? I don't think there was ever a book written.
Come on.
I think again, guys, we sort of
he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit the defense. He doesn't fit the scheme.
He don't fit the NFL.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right about that.
He doesn't have the speed.
He doesn't
to play corner in this league. So everybody thinks that Jalen Mills is a better corner than Rasul Douglas. So. If anybody should also be getting moved to the back end, it should be a guy like Rasul Douglas. Yeah. I think he could have more success back there. I think it's a bad position for him. Now, the length and the physicality obviously translate to the game, but the lack of speed then kills him. So, you got to be able to run a little bit in this league.
And what has he ever even shown us? Like a little bit. He didn't show us nothing.
He can make a tackle sometimes.
Yeah, he can make a tackle in front of him. But
that's it.
He can't play man-to-man coverage. He gets ran by every play.
Too slow.
And you know what they say? Once they're even, they're leaving. That's it.
Over.
Next one, Mr. Vespe.
Well, it's me.
Okay.
All right. So my worst moves, I didn't put them in any particular order. Number 3, need we to keep going down this rabbit hole with Jalen Hurts and why they took him at 53. Still a polarizing pick. I can understand why they made the pick. I'm just not a fan of taking him at 53. Number 2, Alshon's mainly with the handling of Alshon's the entire offseason. You have the rumors with him being the anonymous source in the so-called locker room drama. You have him in the epicenter of all these trade talks. Will the Eagles pull the trigger on trading him? Will they not? And then Howie leaving him out of discussions. And then this past week, you have Dave Spadaro making comments saying that Alshon is going to be a major contribution to this offense. I just did not like how the Eagles handled this offseason regarding Alshon. I hope that lights a fire under him. Hopefully he produces. I hope he rebounds after 2 years of injuries. So that's what I'm going with.
Frank, can I ask you a quick question with that?
I got one for you, though. How else are they supposed to handle?
That was my question. Yeah.
All right.
No, you're good. You're good.
Like, I get what you're saying. I mean, a lot of people wanted them moved. I get that. The money to move them. You're stuck with them.
I know.
And it is what it is.
It is what it is. But it's like I just didn't like how everything progressed regarding him.
I just don't know. If you want to take a shot at that situation, take a shot of them extending him in the season. You know what I'm saying? Like once that contract was signed at the beginning of the season, then there's nothing they could do at this point. You know what I mean? Like listen, I'm not a fan of the situation at all. Nobody is in this city at all. He's been getting crushed, but there's nothing they could do. If they're handcuffed, there's nothing they can do.
Right.
I'm fine with it. I just don't have a problem with it. I mean, what I love how when not you, Frank, but like I love when deals get extended, right? Because a guy was a big contributor, and then he gets hurt, and that guy stinks, can't play, terrible, blah 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 blah, A, B, C, and D. Well, then we forget. I know 2017 was a while ago, but the guy's still under contract. Yeah. So you hope and you pray that he can have some semblance and find himself a little bit of 2017 Alshon. You hope he can produce for you because you can't go the other way and expect to get rid of him. So you have to put your eggs into the basket saying, okay, if he does come in and play, good. But we went out and we addressed the wide receiver position as well this all season to try.
Which we did, yes.
So
I agree. We did address the wide receiver.
People would be pissed that we didn't give him the money. Not you. I'm just saying in general. Like if we didn't give him the money, people would be mad. So it's one of these lose in a way, and you hope at the end of the deal that you can get some more out of them, and that's all you can go for. But I hear it. People
I just hope he rebounds.
Oh, we all
with everything that happened during that entire offseason regarding him. I hope that lights a fire. I hope he returns to 2017 for him. Well, I hope he's worth that money.
Wouldn't it be fitting them two had a good year together?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be typical Philly. But yeah, that's all. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. My number one, failure to address the bigger needs in free agency. They were great signings. Robey-Coleman, great signing. Javon Hargrave, great signing. But the big issue here is that we failed to address the wide receivers and the linebackers in free agency. Our depending on the health of Deshaun, Alshon, and Marquise, are we ready to put all our eggs in this very, very young and green wide receiving core?
Well, the bet we made.
We better be.
Yep.
Better be, or else people are going to be losing their jobs.
But we were in a way better spot last year to overcome those two being hurt this year than we were last year. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, because you hope some progression of JJ, you hope the addition of Gregor, right, and then you hope Greg Ward with another year. Them three are good enough where if them two aren't on the field or whatever, that you can get that production from some of these younger guys. Your hopes are that as you get these guys comfortable again, that them other two can play, right? You're just hoping. I'm just hoping. Get out of them too, because listen, I'll say again, when Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffery were on the field last year for a very limited time, it got explosive. It got ridiculously explosive. I'm telling you, I got a feeling that we wrote him off, both of them, a little too soon. Because now you got guys talking about the end of the deals. You guys got to remember this out there. When you start talking your last deal, when you start talking the last paycheck, guys start to find ways to come play, right, and find themselves a little bit. I expect both of them to be on the field this year. I do, and I think they're going to be productive.
Right, absolutely.
I do. I'm in the minority where I think I'm going to get something out of Alshon and Deshaun this year and something big. I really do. And it's all because of the last year of the deal and wanting another paycheck.
Bill says Alshon, for the record, will be on the bench collecting $26 million. He's been trashed so bad and he knows the door's open. After the season, he's not playing hard even if he makes the field. What I'll do is I will just do this and I will do this.
How's he been trashing on the field, though? That's what I don't understand. Like when he's on the field, he's been productive. If you want to talk about injuries, not being on the field, you're done with it. A, B, C, and D. Good then, Bill. But to talk about when the guy was at any point healthy over the last 2 years, to say he wasn't productive, to say them things is blasphemy to me. I mean, stop talking then. You're the same guy with JJ, 12 touchdowns last year. Now you wrote him off already. Okay, so how am I taking your word for wide receivers? You lost the ability on A2D to talk about the wide receiver position. That was stripped from you last year. So I get it. Listen, you think you told me he was getting dealt. You promised me the 9th.
Yeah, you told me we were getting 9. We were getting 9.
And we were going to get DJ Chark.
Ryan, put it on the big screen again.
1 second. A lot of buttons.
You told us, Bill, that you guaranteed here we come to Jacksonville. Didn't happen. You guaranteed JJ. Now you're guaranteeing Alshon's going to ride the pine, making $26 million. Now I know it's going to happen.
MVP season coming.
8 TDs coming, about 900 yards, about 60 catches. Real good, solid year coming. Just because you claim he's riding the pine, Bill. Wrong again. Wrong again. You think they're sitting in for $26 million. You think that you must not know what big business is. If he can play, he's on the field. I can't with you. There's 2 things, Bill, okay? If you think they're just going to sit a guy with $26 million on the line, you're clueless. If you think that a guy on the last year of his deal ain't going to want to play the field so he can show somebody else, if not here, he can still play, you're clueless.
I would love him for him to be 17, Alshon, but WTF, just A2D alone has trashed him. Come on, what does that mean?
I've been trashing him. You want to speak to other guys, man. Everybody's gonna have opinions here, bro. But you're gonna say as a whole we trashed him. I don't want to say trashed him. If when he was an anonymous source, and we thought he was, I think the whole world trashed him, Eagles Nation. But as it's calmed down and gone away, I think we're starting to realize maybe it wasn't him. That's all. Time's yours.
And the best way to cure all of these locker room rivalries, quote unquote, winning. They start winning, everyone stays healthy. I don't think the storyline, week 7 of the NFL season for the Eagles is going to be, can Carson and Alshon coexist? I feel like, honestly, some people think that this is the reincarnation of T.O. and Donovan. Again, I don't like the situation that we're in because, again, it's a shame when organizations are handcuffed to a degree. But at the end of the day, this isn't T.O. and Donovan, okay?
Just drama. Everybody in Philadelphia sports just loves the drama. Can you just let them go out and fucking play, please? Just once? Without all the bullshit and the locker room drama?
I watch.
It's just ridiculous, man. It's every year. It's always something. With either the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, or the Eagles. It's always something. Just let them go out and play.
I watched the documentary. To me, Alshon didn't seem like a guy who didn't like Carson.
Yeah.
I seen him pick him up a couple times. So, okay.
Well, you've said before who you truly maybe not who you believe it is, but you wouldn't be surprised who the source guy is, right? And I listen over time. Remember when you first said it to me? We were on the phone. I was like, nah, there's no way. Over the time, I'm thinking, they're possible.
Connect a couple dots. Mister, take what's in front of you. Right? He said it 1,000,000 times, Malcolm Jenkins, about Carson Wentz. Why are you so fucking worried about the quarterback position? But you can worry about what you got to worry about. How about take a couple footballs away? How about that? All right, but you're so worried about the quarterback. And it seemed like you're a little too worried about the quarterback for a little bit. That's all. I'm not saying you're the guy, but if I connect some dots, it seems like you're more the guy than the guy who got the football or the guy who got paid. Think about that shit for a minute, people. Think about that. Who got fucking paid on this roster? Alshon did. So what the hell does he got to say? What does he got to say? What's he going to bitch about? $26 million? Who's got something to complain about? The guy for the last X amount of years who's been talking contracts.
Yeah.
Worry about the defensive side of the football and not get in the QB room. How about that, Mr. Leader? Because if he was the big leader, Howie signs that up because that's written by Jeffrey Lurie. You understand that? Well, I'll say it again. Why do you think Brandon Graham's back here? Because that's signed off by Jeffrey Lurie. That's a Jeffrey Lurie bring back because of culture. Why do you think they want Jason Peters back again, Ralphie? Because it's written off by Jeffrey Lurie because it's culture. I'm just telling you. Some of these guys they want back for reasons.
Spot on.
Freaking snake. I hope he gets torched all year in New Orleans. I hope he gets torched all freaking year. I feel like he's always been a snake, a fake. I feel like he's always been fake to me. Always been fake. Alshon never been fake to me. Malcolm's always been a little fake to me.
No, Alshon, when he wants to speak, he speaks. Yeah, he doesn't hide things.
Malcolm always like, circles around it. Like, I feel like you're talking about my quarterback. I feel like you are.
That's my quarterback.
Marquette says Alshon was catching balls from Cutler and Hoyer. Why in the hell would he rip Wentz? Only idiots believe it's Alshon.
Collisions.
Yeah, he came here. He came here to play.
He even said when he signed here, the reason I came here is because 11.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Now he hates them.
Now he hates him.
And got paid.
Yeah.
2017 got him paid, and you think he hates the man?
Yeah.
2017 didn't get Malcolm Jenkins paid. What do you think about this? Right? Who's in Jacina's asshole?
Satan.
Who's been sniffing Jacina's ass crack? Because I won't want to sniff none of that shit. But Malcolm's a sniffer. Malcolm's a scratch and sniff type of cat. I can see it. So.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Bring it out of here. Bring it. No, Cena asshole. Delicious.
Jesus. Taylor Bowers. That Super Bowl.
Every time you talk, my source says, shut up.
Source gate. Fam at home and obviously the guys in here. If the Eagles could only make one more move for the rest of the offseason, what do you want that move to be?
One? Now, I can't do a trade, so it's got to be free agency then.
It's up to you. You can do a trade.
Nah, this is too much. I mean, that's not fair. We got Madden on easy. Trades off.
You got a Madden guy to your right.
Nah, it's got to be, it's got to be guys that are out there.
Okay.
I'm going Logan Ryan.
Thank you. Yep. Jules. Yep.
I'll go Devontae Freeman.
Damn.
Okay.
I too will go with Devonta Freeman.
I'll go Everson.
Well, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Somebody say Nigel. Nigel I would like.
I would like Nigel as well.
Nigel would be a good name. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much it's a must need at this point.
Yeah.
Nigel.
Well, boys,
1 year veteran.
we got $20 million. I mean, you don't have every dollar of it, but Everson Griffin, Logan Ryan, and Devontae Freeman, you could probably get for about 15.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Easily.
Good. I mean, right there. I'll tell you right there. If that happened, it's not going to happen that much because we're just junkies. But if that happened, best team in the NFC. You can tell
If we got all three of them? If we
you
got all
can
three
tell
of
the
them?
Niners, you can tell San Fran, we'll come there and play. We don't even want to play at home. We'll come out to the Bay and whoop your ass. That's what I feel about that. If you went and made them additions, because defensively, game over. I mean, to me, you make them two, you're a top 5 defense in football. Top 5. That's what I'm a middle linebacker, right? You might be 5 because I really value it, but you might be 5. You had Devontae Freeman in this backfield, and you've seen the explosive games he can have. You've seen it. So in a lesser role, I think you're going to see it. So, man, woo. What do you want?
I think he still has some. He definitely has some juice left, Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he has a lot of tread on the tires because they were going heavy committee over the last couple of years with Coleman and that Ito Smith.
Yeah, Ito Smith sort of ran him out the door in a way, too.
Which is
the other thing, too, is that Freeman couldn't stay healthy for the last 2 years.
So he's nice and rested.
28 years old. You're not bringing him in for a 3-year deal. Here, it's a 1-year prove it. Can you play? It's probably a 3-year deal, a $3 million to $5 million type deal. It's nothing crazy in terms of money. You can get it done. Logan Ryan might cost you 6-7. You know what I mean? It might cost you a little bit more because of a track record. And Jason Peters back.
There's a lot of Jason Peters love in here, Ralphie.
I know. I just
you can stay on that island, honey.
I'll stay on it. I had the whole island to myself.
That ain't Revis Island.
Yeah,
and if I were to add trades into this, I'll add My number one move is, to be honest, is trading for Leonard Fournette. That's my number one if I'm adding trades. Nothing crazy, like maybe a fifth, fifth, something like that.
I don't know. Jets interested in moving C.J. Mosley? Probably not.
Probably not. He just gave a bunch of money last year.
He just got the bank.
I know he did. I don't give it.
They just backed up the Brinks truck for him last
I'll take
year.
Jamal Adams.
What do you want? Because their defense was rolling before he got hurt.
Yeah, I know.
What do you want? You want a number one? What do you want?
Taylor Powers. Ralphie's getting mugged by the group.
As he should.
I love it. What up, Taylor?
We're mugging him with no mask.
Joe Moffitt. Why isn't Logan Ryan or Griffin signed yet? Well, I think Griffin just because of the age, I guess.
Yeah, what is he, like 35, 36, but
This is a little slower.
I don't even think he's that old.
No, Everson. No, he's like 33.
Yeah.
I was saying 32, 33.
yeah.
Logan Ryan's 30, I think.
Yeah, Logan Ryan's close. He's probably 30 right now.
Here we go. Here we go with Madden. Here we go. Why not package trade Fournette and Yannick? I mean, I'll do it, but
In Madden, I'll do it.
I'll give you a first and a fourth.
And Barnett.
Nah.
Go ahead, Kenny. What's your big question?
You think they'll do it for Wentz? I mean, we have Hurts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had Hurts. I mean, we took him in the second round. I mean, we might as well.
The time's now.
They need a quarterback.
The value's never going to be higher, boys.
Yeah.
Went for Yannick straight up. That's what good organizations do.
About 95% of the chat on YouTube is talking about how Rager is the next Aguilar.
Well, 70% drop rate. Go whatever.
Third worst in the FBS.
Yeah, a lot of wide receivers in the
a lot.
That's in my chat. But he's the only one with a bad quarterback, so that's what I missed.
Yeah.
Kenny says, instead of Dillard, if we drafted a center and Kelsey was unsigned, what would you do?
Panic.
Start watching basketball.
Dillard, if we drafted a center and Kelsey was unsigned, what would you do? That's
I'll bring Kelsey back.
Bring Kelsey back.
Because Kelsey's not 38 either.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He's like
that wasn't to help you, Ralph. That wasn't
31.
to help you.
Oh man.
So I'm not doing this again, Wade, because I know all about his age. You act like here I'm starting a fucking petition for him.
I think you are, dude.
If you want Jordan Mailata, that's on you. I'm going to continue to tell you that. You want fucking rugby talk? Then go ahead down that road.
No, he's all in on Driscoll and Prince, Tom.
Yeah, you want to get your quarterback killed? You want to get
Absolutely.
Driscoll?
I think, Ralphie, I think you might be a fan of the the Hurts pick because you want Carson to get hurt. You want to see Jalen Hurts here.
But don't.
I will.
Don't do that.
I will. I will do
Don't
that.
do that.
I just did. I just did that.
So real quick before we roll out of here, okay? We asked the family this one, and we'll get out. We'll circle the board. So Mr. Clowney talks again, rumored again in Philadelphia. Yes or no? Quick reason why. Either way, I don't want him. Okay, I don't even want him for a 1-year deal. I think he's one of the most underachieving guys, talent-wise, that I've really ever witnessed. When you can't get it done on a line with J.J. Watt and the likes, what makes you think you're going to get it done anywhere? Why did Seattle done with you when they went out and traded for you? Why don't they not give you the money? So, I don't think it's as much money. I think it becomes production. And when you don't have the production, the money ain't going to be there. So, one, if it's the right deal, would I take him? I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'll take the talent. But, again, I'm not going to get the talent for more than a year. And he's obviously going to get more than a year from somebody. So, at the end of the day, let him go somewhere else, right? And a guy like Everson Griffin, perfect type of guy to bring in. You're probably going to get just as much production, even at an older age. And it fills that in a different way without having to break the bank on what, in my opinion, like I'll say it again, the most underachieving talented player that maybe I've ever seen. Never double-digit sacks.
Imagine what the message is. What kind of message that sends to your quarterback in a span of 2.5 weeks? Number one, I agree with you, Tom. He has underachieved.
That, though. I mean, that's football. That's football. I can't not sign him in my decision based off a hit on Carson. I can't. That's unfair to the game. So my decision it can't be based off that. It's got to be based on on-field production. If the guy was a beat, I don't give a shit what he did to Carson last year. If the guy walks into 12 sacks a year, sign me up. Right? Could go take somebody else's quarterback at now. You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of my point, to where he's not somebody that no matter what, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like there's a million examples. I'm not even because you can't even compare him. But he's not a game changer in the aspect to where you can forget about anything that happened in the past. I agree to where if he was a game changer and he didn't get along with some players, it doesn't matter because it's football. You're grown men, deal with it. You're not going to always like or get along with everybody. My point is, imagine, and this is obviously just looking for a friggin', the storyline aspect of this. In a span of 2 weeks, you're drafting your quote unquote replacement, and then you're bringing in
the guy who knocked you out.
The guy who knocked you off the field.
Yeah, I saw that on the forum with one of those surprise Pikachu memes. They did that with the surprise Pikachu meme.
I don't know what the surprise Pikachu means.
Well, it's basic. They had like a comment about they drafted your replacement and then try to sign the guy that knocked you out.
I'll search it on Google, Frank. I'm sure it's great. I might use the template. I might use it.
I'm sure it's great.
I'm sure it's great.
It's somewhere on Facebook.
I've just never been into the Pikachu. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! We could do some Yu-Gi-Oh! But not the Pikachu.
Nah.
Yeah, so now I'm good. I'll go with Everson Griffin. No Pikachu.
Ralphie? It's a no for me, dog. Another thing, like Tommy was saying, dude, even though he was lined up next to J.J. Watt for all those years down in Houston, I mean, he didn't even sniff more than 10 sacks a year. So it's a no for me. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm out as well. Just the whole, taking plays off, not really wanting to play, determining when he wants to play. I'm out on that.
Yep.
No for Clowney for me.
You can't be the number one pick in the draft and never have double digit sacks. You just can't. You can't.
Nope.
No shot.
Yeah, man. I think he'll finish the season just like he did last year. So,
Amen.
Yep.
Man, he's gonna be.
He checked that box off last year.
Yep.
All those doubters. Oh, he can't play 16 games. He can't play a full season. Check.
Check, please. Yep. But boys, again, a ton of fun tonight.
Absolutely.
Sports are creeping back. Obviously, for my baseball junkies out there, it looks like July 1st is that target date, and it's creeping. So
and the tweet that Jeff, what's his last name, man?
Jeff Passan?
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
With the MLB telling all the teams tell your players get ready, tell them to get in shape is a great feeling. Great feeling.
This week, Sunday, we're gonna have two local guys who play in the big leagues on. One is Zach Allen and Devin Smeltzer. Both South Jersey guys. Sweepsy coach was able to coach both of them at the high school level, and to see both having success at the big league level, it's going to be a lot of fun to talk to them. I mean, Zach Allen, top three arm in Arizona. So, if you haven't heard his name, definitely go check him out. A rising star down there. And then Devin Smeltzer got a chance to caught up for the Twins last year and pitched well in the opportunity. So, two guys that'll give us a little insight on how they're going to get ready for this season and the condensed season, and this sort of what they're hearing. You know what I mean? And we get a little feel for that. And yeah, players are told to get ready. I know a couple guys.
I love it.
Guys are
love it.
In the NBA. The NBA looks a little bit closer as well. Certain teams in certain areas are opening practice facilities to.
Yeah, the Lakers just put their submit to open their practice facility up on, I think it's May 10th.
So I think we're looking at all professional sports, maybe not hockey, but definitely baseball and basketball.
Yeah.
July 1st-ish. It looks like the target date. So exciting stuff there. Obviously, ATD will keep you updated with all that kind of content and information as it comes out to the public. But as of right now, good signs. Everybody else, stay healthy, stay safe out there. Right? Don't go running around like a bunch of freaking Thundercats right now.
Yeah.
Get the fuck still. We'll all be out soon, especially for my Jerseyans. The animals over in Philly, just don't come over the goddamn fucking bridge right now.
Ralphie, you stay in that bedroom, Ralphie.
Stay over there. But no, everybody, seriously, be safe. And, we love you all. And we appreciate you guys throughout this time that's been tough over the last, 900 days that you've been able to, hang with us, and we've been able to deliver you the kind of shows that you guys need too, and that we need. We'll say it a million times. So appreciate you guys and appreciate our doc that makes every show go on here at A2D Radio. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. On them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Dellavecchio, Nick Juliano, Frank Vespe. No Steppy tonight. He'll be back with us next Wednesday. But for a little PHIX AM and the PM crossover here on A2D Radio, we thank you all for listening. Stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. Tomorrow, you got Lazy Booking, Hockey Happy Hour. I know Lazy Booking has a guest. I'm not a wrestling cat. So, big guest on though for Lazy Booking tomorrow. Ryan, you can tell people his name like we did last week because
Mr. Leo Rush, one of his first interviews since being released by the WWE.
Awesome stuff. So I'm sure that's going to be a really great interview and a great grab by the boys on Lazy Booking tomorrow. And then obviously it'll be followed by the boys on the Hockey Happy Hour Friday. I believe the schedule comes out
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. So what we're thinking is Friday, we're going to come to you maybe around like 5 o'clock ish. And we'll get what we're going to try to do for you is give you a little breakdown of the schedule. Now I hate it. I fucking despise it. It's one of the worst times of the year, but we have nothing. So
yeah.
You're not a fan of the win-loss?
I want to punch people square in the face when the schedule comes out and they want to give me win-losses in fucking May. All right? In May, I will choke you out. If you want to start guaranteeing me how many wins.
I can't find an L on here.
I can't find the loss. I can't find the loss.
Oh, no.
16-0.
But we'll entertain it. We'll tickle your balls with it. And we'll give you this great content that we're going to deliver Friday. Well, we're going to break down the road
Make
trip.
a show of the year.
Little ball talk.
You want to talk about maybe the worst promo ever put together in HUD radio history? This is it. Pretty much telling you don't watch, but come watch because we're going to have a great time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can't miss it.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't watch, but you guys please come watch.
I'll be mowing the lawn, but you guys should watch.
I'll be here flipping out. No guarantee in 12. So make sure you watch. But that'll be fun. So it'll be a bunch of us on. All the guys you can make it. So, guys, thanks for listening. And I said, anywhere you get your podcast, subscribe there as well. We're everywhere. And tomorrow's another jam-packed show.
Yep.
Only off day here is Friday. So this Saturday, we were supposed to have Vince Papali on. That has now been shifted to next weekend. So we'll keep you guys informed on that. Vince, great. And if you haven't been watching us, guys, tons of interviews coming through here at HUD Radio. So we're able to have Vaughn Hebron on earlier last week. A great interview as well. And I know Hot Guys had Flyers developmental coach on. So tons of different guys coming in, and we're trying to give you interviews just to spice it up for you. So love you all. Peace. And we wait for it to